Live from the Streamline Mortgage Solutions studio, it's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello. This is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
Hey, it is another A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
I'm Sam.
So, I like that. Cacao,
I've never done that.
Cacao.
Usually you just go, Sam's here.
We hope everybody's safe that's listening to this. Our hearts go out to everybody down south and the devastation, the catastrophe that the hurricane caused down there. It's horrible to see.
Unprecedented historical amounts of water and wind.
So,
especially water.
You know, good luck with the cleanup. We, hope that your house isn't flooded, and those that houses are flooded, if you need anything, I will say that the BDM community and the community of people that listen to the show are willing to help each other out. So,
what do you need? Put it on there, and we'll see if we can figure it out within the community because they're just great folks.
And the thing is, some people were greatly affected. Other people not that affected at all.
I'm right here. You're looking right at me when you say that, and I feel your hatred.
No. It's just the truth of these kind of things. It's this hurricane's so big that there's bad parts and there's people that didn't get still have their power. I know I don't. But
currently, right now, doing the show is worse for me than when the hurricane was here.
I understand.
So there are people that were willing to help you out. So if you go on the BDM page, just reach out.
Please do. Don't hesitate. Don't feel like you're a bother or anything.
People want to help.
Yeah, there is a pinned thread that I pinned myself in there. Kind of hard to see. It's at the very, very top. I'm going to go in later today and make a more formal thread, kind of like help thread, and just like
hurricane help thread. Yeah,
unofficially label it. That way we have a center point or a cornerstone to go to if we can swap things in there and kind of make this happen.
And I think everybody is. And that's, the one positive thing we can get out of like tragedies like this and, giant storms is you do feel the community help each other, which is good to see. It's like everybody, I feel, it wants to help their neighbors. They, if they can. And, and I think that that's a positive thing, and especially within our own community, we could all help each other. But we all talked about it before. Like we came and did the show. Obviously,
Tom came and rescued me today.
I had to go get
Sam.
You're
like a goddamn hero over here.
I hadn't left the past 2 days, and then woke up this morning, and everyone's like, "You can't get out of the neighborhood. There's flooded."
I was going to show up with my shirt off.
Wow.
Just
why?
That'd have been awkward.
Okay, were you going to ring the doorbell? Or you're just going to pull up?
No,
you could put a cape on instead of taking a shirt off to emphasize hero.
Oh, no,
that's true. You could have a cape.
Did
Did you have a shirt on this morning?
I pulled up to your house and then I was trying to go back because I didn't know which one was which.
Okay.
You think I know what your car looks like after seeing it every single day?
That's what I was going to say.
And then I'm like, I know it's white.
Well, use the context clues. How about like Halloween decorations possibly, or maybe she put those in prep for the hurricane.
I was looking for that fiddly fig that you showed me.
I brought that inside.
I was like, where's the fig?
I didn't want to get blown over.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if you do need help, just please reach out and put it on the BDM page because people will help you. So, but we did talk about
fig turn there. I was still on the fig, and he turned.
We did talk about coming in here and doing a show because I feel like the vast majority of people are just cleaning up after and getting their lives back together. And if we can somehow help you get through that by doing a show, and so you can listen to those things and laugh, and and me and Daniel talked about this too. We are going to make jokes about everything, and we don't mean to make jokes to be insensitive.
Don't come at us. We're gonna fuck around today.
It's a comedy show.
We gotta fuck around today. I gotta do it. I'm freaking out. I gotta fuck around a little bit.
So just please know where our hearts are.
Yes.
We're making jokes because we want to make people laugh as they deal with something horrible.
Right.
Which from the years of doing the show, that's overwhelmingly what we hear from people.
It's a coping mechanism.
It's like, hey,
we have to laugh.
Thanks for making me laugh while I dealt with horrible shit. So that's what we're going to try to do.
Well, I'm too weak to help you physically. Like, there's no way in my back, and just based on size, there's very little that I could offer to you physically that would help your predicament, your flood, or whatever. But I can offer you some observations. I can offer you some chuckles and some ha-has. While you're listening, while you're cleaning up, put me in your ears.
So I'll tell you what.
Nothing happened to me. I had the easy. It was great.
Yeah,
easy breezy.
There's a lot of people that they're in an area that didn't get it that bad, and that's the thing. This thing is so gigantic,
huge.
That
Brandon O'Connor running in.
Hey, how you doing, Brandon?
Hey, Brandon O'Connor.
He was getting fresh for us.
Hey, fashionably gay.
Thanks for coming
What's up,
in,
buddy? I should have hugged you.
It's
hugging's for gays.
It's still a mess getting around out there. Like there are, I know.
Road closures.
I couldn't even go down Mills this morning because
Lake Underhill shut
down
down.
there by the Orlando Museum of Art. The very best. They have the best art there, I've heard.
When it's real.
It's the best non-real art. But it all flooded. Like, you couldn't even get, there was a cop there, and he's like, you got to turn around. You shouldn't be down here, man. You got to go home.
Is it Lake Rowena?
There is.
Yes.
And I knew this because I at one time did this by accident.
Brendan smells good. Thank you for smelling good.
I farted.
I remember there was a rain event for like a week straight. This is back when I lived in Deltona. And then we took the boat out on the St. Johns River, and that shit was flooded.
Yeah.
Like, it was up at people's houses.
And you were flooding everyone's house. Make as much wake as you can.
I remember trying. I was like, I shouldn't be out here. I was like, my wake is hitting people's doors.
Why did you do that?
I didn't know.
Wait a minute. I think
this was 15 years ago.
I may have been with him.
Pre-internet.
I like that I'm distancing myself, but could have been there.
That's why the news anchors have to keep repeating to people, please stop driving on the streets that are flooded.
Yeah, like Ivanhoe Village. Did you talk about that?
Not yet, no.
The all those like Hammered Lamb, all those shops around Hammered Lamb, they're basically underwater. They were fine. Most of them were fine. Hammered Lamb was totally flooded, but the other shops all had like a step up. But as soon as all these trucks started going through yesterday, it created the wake made flooded.
And I ran a convoy through there, 18-wheeler, big ones, all the way through
there. Were people wakeboarding behind trucks there in
to
front of the
TikTok,
businesses.
Well, anything for the hits, man. I gotta get people watching me wakeboard down Lake Eola. I don't care if I flood your clothing store.
It was a great video. Like I thought.
I mean the video came out great.
You know when it would have been better is if they'd held perfectly still. They moved just a little bit, which killed that illusion of them just going by straight.
Yeah.
Seriously, like I'm being a little picky, but I'm just saying I thought it was good.
As a videographer.
Could have been a little better. You got to hold perfectly still for that shot.
Clean it up.
So
Stop going on jet skis down your goddamn streets.
Tom just outgrew that. Last year.
They had to put up no wake signs. In Seminole County.
Yeah.
You should put up should put up a no woke sign is what I'm saying. I'm sorry, just
no
made that
woke
up.
zone?
No woke zone. Hold on, write that down.
Write it down.
Write it down.
Hey, all that money's green. We make a lot of money selling those shirts.
So
we'll do a collab on our OrlandoShirts.com.
Yeah, no woke zone.
On Wednesday, me and Daniel did a show, kind of a pre-hurricane show.
It was our worst effort.
Well, I did hear people that were glad that we were honest because we didn't know what the hell to do. We were just like, we didn't know to talk about the storm. Like, we're
not weather professionals.
We're not going to give you information that's pertinent to anything.
Right.
So, but it was also everybody's anxiety is a 10. Everybody's like anxious about waiting for the storm. We're watching the same tracks. Like, so it was a weird vibe.
Well, with our listener buddy here, I talked it out. You can hear us. like actually working it out live on the show. of like we get to a point where like, what the fuck are we doing?
That's very
And
real
it's kind
world.
of it is
Yeah.
real. Yeah, you can listen to it. It's kind of funny.
Because like when we started the show, we didn't really have like a plan. And we were like, okay, we'll just talk about what's going on.
Yeah.
But that's what we always do.
I
and,
know.
and then we're just real. But
And
then,
we're all up in our head about doing that now.
Yeah.
Like now we're up in our own head about like coming in without a plan. We're like, well, wait a minute, we're coming in without a plan.
well, because the
Because they're adults now.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Fucking adults.
I know.
The,
It's crazy. I got a kid, dude. Something came out of my balls.
Because the real part about it is we know people's lives are changed forever after
Yeah.
this, and devastation and property
Yeah.
damage and lives lost and like all these
Every time you say
horrible things.
devastation, I want to say suicide.
No, I mean, and then all the accidents after the storms.
Love that song.
Like that's what gets a lot of people is just the accidents from cleaning up their property, from running
Power
the generators,
lines.
and from
Driving
What's it
down
like
streets.
80%?
Chainsaw.
Is it 80% of the deaths after?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everything, our society is messed up and becomes dangerous
Yeah.
because we live in the United States. It's for the most part, everything's pretty safe around us. And then when our
Except for schools.
Like
All the
stay out of the
structures, yeah.
stay out of the stormwater.
Yeah.
Why are you walking through the stormwater? You don't know if there's
It's
a live
disgusting.
wire.
Brendan,
there.
it's
People
fun to
die all
walk
the
in
time.
stormwater, though. Like,
Yeah,
I will be honest
no.
with you.
Come on.
Yesterday,
There's doo-doo in there.
hold on.
Doo-doo.
I went out yesterday with my daughter, and we walked in some of the doo-doo water, and I'm going to tell you, it's really fun.
I was letting my sons play.
Yeah, this is why we're in business
I'm like,
together.
swim in there. It's
I
just
knew
raining.
I knew you would be Team
Chemicals.
Sam. I knew you would be Team Sam on this.
That's right.
I knew I would be Team Tom. Me and my daughter went out there. We're both very close to being mouth breathers, and we walked around. We're very close. Sometimes at night, I think we are, like in the middle of the night.
Dogs, people's dogs when they play in that
Yeah.
water, they get like lesions.
Poo-poos.
Like you
Yeah.
can get
Yeah,
really no, and not just like from poo water. Like people like fine poo water. Ugh, we'll get people.
So
are like,
you're
"Oh,
okay.
rinsing it
You're
off."
pro poo water.
Chemicals though, the chemicals and the runoff.
Poo
like,
water's natural.
like what's
That's organic.
if as long as poo water doesn't get in your mouth, you're okay.
Oh,
you
I
know,
forgot to
or
tell
in
you.
your eye.
Did you guys hear
But
about this?
the chemicals in the water when it touches your skin can really hurt you.
Okay, that's
or
fine.
the live
Brendan. That's
electrical
okay. This is
wires.
great.
Right.
Mr. Caution's here, everybody. I was driving down Corinne.
It
this
hurt my
morning.
wakeboard though. It's fine. My
Let's say,
wakeboard.
the wakeboard's safe.
I used to be a fun guy, and now you're making me into this person.
I was driving.
Invincible.
I was
I
driving
hate.
down Corinne this morning, and you know all the sewage.
Yeah.
I thought it was sewage. It completely changed what I thought where poo went and where water goes because the sewage it looked like a manhole cover, but they was just spraying brown into the sky, and I'm like, is that poo or is that just water?
I think it's
water.
stormwater drains. Like
Yeah.
they're backing
Mud,
up.
yeah.
And one is
And I'm sure there's some poo involved.
the storm.
A little bit of
Okay.
poo-poo, you know?
A touch.
because I was scared.
I think how it works it's all gravity fed, but once the actual place where like the retention pond or the lakes they're too full,
Yeah.
I think it just backs up and the pressure from it comes out of the manholes and shit. It's scary to
Now-
watch. You're like, oh,
now, one of the
that
things-
shouldn't be happening.
One of the things my daughter and I have been doing, and I might take a little heat for this, is we've been going to areas where people's houses have been flooded recently, and we've been magnet fishing for all of their watches and goods.
Are you really?
No, but I just thought of that. I'm like, damn, I should go to these areas where their subdivision floods out and then should start magnet fishing because she's upset. My daughter's obsessed with
I was
magnet
just-
fishing, and that's all she
By the way,
watches on YouTube is
magnet fishing. The worst fishing. the best possible
I knew
scenario.
you were gonna hate it.
Best possible scenario.
Shopping cart.
Rusted gun.
Yeah. Always get the
yeah,
rusty
you
gun.
always get the rusty
The
gun.
marlin of magnet fishing is a rusted gun. Anyway, so
I'm worried I'd get it like a bomb or something.
I know, right?
Yeah, especially
I
around
guess
here,
you
like
could.
Baldwin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially could.
So-
I think that's all leaching into the aquifer.
That's
I
good.
just read this article about people who go down, they chase the hurricanes, and then as soon as the hurricanes are done, they get they scavenge, and so they're getting all the old copper wire, like the piping, everything from these homes that have just
from
been
destroyed
destroyed.
houses.
And as long as it's not like if they get those houses that get washed away down the street, like that's not on their property.
You guys
anymore,
had some
right?
of that
It's
in
trash.
Canada. 2 weeks ago, you guys had, because of a storm, you guys had houses.
Oh yeah,
That's
Could you
crazy.
imagine, I'm going to go down to
Skull of an
a
ocean.
devastated area and take the copper out the AC that has floated, their house floated. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're not going to use it, right?
hundreds of thousands
Oh,
of
wait a
dollars.
minute. Oh, I thought you were saying this is what we were going to, you'd save the company.
no,
I'm
I'm
like,
saying-
all
We
right.
might need to start doing that.
Yeah, follow you to hell, dude. I'm ready to go. Let's go.
There's gotta
Load
be
up the truck, Sam.
Another way to make money.
They're
Like,
making like
this is gonna- come on.
they're saying you could make $300 to $500 a truckload, And then if you're good, you get like multiple truckloads a day.
Yeah.
And they're just doing that for like 3 weeks, a month.
But again, it's like,
that's brutal though.
I guess, yeah.
All these people, like the whole person's whole life, and you're taking the air conditioning. There's got to be another way. Anyway.
Well,
so,
are they using it? Would be my point.
They're
Well,
just
otherwise
selling
it's
it
just
as
going to
scrap.
sit there and get bulldozed into like a city landfill, and they don't do anything with it, right?
I guess just wait until it gets to landfill. I don't know if you could do that. Like, I don't know, maybe
I
if
gotta
this,
wait till it gets to the landfill?
I
I'm
don't-
helping them out. It weighs less.
How does that
You're gonna
work?
wait for the man to feed you?
Well, you always see these houses that are like dilapidated where
Yeah.
the storm came through, but then they always leave certain things they can't get out of there. So you'll look in some of these houses, there'll be like a piano in there.
Yeah.
Is that piano like fair game now? Because hey, you didn't fucking
No,
want it.
still
You
private
left
property.
it in there.
Leave.
Still
If
private
it's still on the
property.
property,
Is it?
you
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
I
fuck
feel
it.
like if I go
It's
in
like
there and I
grave-
can play it better than you, then it's mine. I feel like that should be the
I feel
rule.
like grave robbing. It was like you're taking
It's
the
not
watch
grave
off a
robbing.
dead body.
It feels a
You're
little like that.
What is this body using this one? It was like, they put it there for a reason.
To be fair, if a body was sitting at the piano, I would leave it alone.
You can sing that song from Les Mis.
Leave people's shit
Too gay.
alone.
Too gay. All right, I like
Too
it.
gay. Just a
Rein
touch.
it in.
Just a
Rein
touch.
it in.
I'll brush up for next week.
Back in Hurricane Andrew days, people were getting shot for looting. Like,
yeah.
you used to be able to shoot
Yeah, yeah,
looters.
yeah.
Anyway,
But
so
you could get like a free boat.
A
so
lot of boats right now
Yeah, man.
in the streets in Fort
Where's
Myers.
your boat? Did you check on it?
no,
Oh.
I didn't. It's one of those things where the marina that I keep it at's got a lot of bigger problems. I'm sure, so they'll
Bigger boats.
They'll call you.
Right.
I'm sure they're
Where's
trying
Seth's
to.
boat? Is
keep
it at the
everyone-
same marina as yours?
No, he keeps it as a little lesser.
What if they're like,
Oh.
well, if he's really
I'm
worried.
saying,
yeah.
I was saying
His house flooded.
He is cheaper. He
Oh,
is
it did?
cheaper.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
saw
saw
it.
that.
No.
That's a pain.
His
in the ass.
living
Like,
room.
His
Does he
poor
have any
dad.
clothes?
I mean, he's got a 2-story house, right? So I feel like it's just the bottom floor that got
Yeah.
Is he
like
just
his
naked now?
Game of Thrones feast tables. All
It's that basement
underwater.
area that he had his dad redo, right?
Oh.
So his dad's gonna have
That's
to.
the worst, man. Water getting in your house because it's just
Oh.
like then once it recedes and
Yeah.
like all your baseboards are wet, like all your shit, and then it's like mold and it pain in the dick.
It would be
man.
really hard
I'm
for
sorry
me
for
not to
everybody
throw
dealing with
out
that.
all of my memories. I'm not a
Start
picture.
over?
Yeah, I'm not a picture person as it is, and I'm not really sentimental about stuff like that. You know, I'm
Yeah.
not a family Bible guy. It would be hard
'Cause
for
you're a
me not to just
psychopath.
look at my wife and just be like, just throw it all away. We'll make new memories.
Yeah.
So
Throw it all away.
on
Yeah,
Wednesday,
throw it all away.
on Wednesday night, I feel like the vast majority of the people listening to this, at least in Central Florida, like we're all watching the same thing, or looking at our phones and the
We did
news,
our show. We tidied up here, waiting for
Yeah.
Ian. We're-
Hashtag Misty Rain.
Yeah,
And,
we're like, let's get out of here. You still had a
Misty
mustache.
Rain.
You still had a
Or no,
mustache.
it's Misty Wind.
I had a frog
Apologies,
freak
Misty
out
Wind.
after the hurricane. I shaved it off. I was like, I
you
I
had a
fulfilled my
stress
bet.
Oh,
No.
I thought you just trimmed it down.
He
No,
had
I
a
shaved it.
full blown like a.
I lost
you know,
a bet. The whole thing.
A flavor saver?
Yeah, he had a big
Um,
old cop mustache.
That was
hot.
what was important to you
That's
during the
hot.
hurricane,
Yeah.
shaving.
Well, it was after. It was because I was like, I have to clean up all
Like
the
a
stuff.
fireman
Yeah,
mustache?
you have to purify.
I
My
looked
upper
horrible.
lip is sweating out here.
purify after the storm.
It
Start anew.
so
You have soiled your upper lip.
on Wednesday, like everybody else,
stiff.
we all got prepared, but I feel like we probably all got prepared too early and then just sat around and waited,
Looking at each other.
Which is
Yeah.
we're just all watching the same slow hurricane inevitably that's gonna hit us.
It's like waiting for a surprise party when you know the person's got like 28 minutes and you're like in your hiding spot way too early.
And so
Yeah.
then everybody starts early
Are they
drinking.
coming? Are they ever gonna find me?
And just like
I
everybody
didn't
else,
start that early.
Now, I try to hold off because I did think
Anxiety.
to myself, just like the cruises, I don't want to be shit-faced
Yeah.
if I have to
and
do
then there's
something.
an emergency.
And I
Yeah,
have to
that's
do
where I
something.
was. Yeah.
But that went out the window because the first beer, I was like, it's 7:30. I've waited long enough. And then after the first drink, I was like, I'm gonna have 10 more because this made everything
I
better.
deserve this.
And I feel less, nervous or stressed because
Yeah.
the beer helps.
And it doesn't feel like day drinking when you're not doing anything and it's like when your only task is to stay alive.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like day drinking really.
Do you
It feels
stay in your bed or do you like go to a closet or something?
I get up and I get dressed. I am not a pajama lounger because I feel like when you are a pajama lounger, you're not living your day off to full potential. Like I hate pajama lounging. I feel gross when I hate lounging in pajamas all day and then taking them off, showering, and then putting on more pajamas. I feel like that's gross. I got to get clothes on to feel like I'm going to do something.
Yeah, I do. I've reached the age in my life where I feel like I'm wasting. I can't sit here.
Can't stay in my pajamas. I'm a grown ass man. I got to get up. I got to have a coffee. I got to put on a t-shirt and be like, I got balls. I'm a man.
I smoked so much
Rick
weed.
Scott.
my medical marijuana card definitely got me through.
I ran out of weed, and then all the dispensaries closed because they're all fucking pussies.
How'd you run out?
I smoke a lot of weed, Tom.
Yeah.
So anyway,
that's why I sound like this.
So
I don't do that.
I've always had this flooding problem in my house. I've talked about for years.
I didn't want to bring
Flooded
this
your
up.
basement.
In fact, I didn't think you were going to bring this up, and I have to address something with you quickly. The last show, I think maybe it may have even been that horrible Waiting for Ian show that you and I did, where you can hear us work this out in our brains.
Yeah.
But Sam was here. I mentioned to him. Because you were like, hey, everybody come over here or something like that. And I was like, nah, dude, your place floods too crazy. You were just up during a regular storm with me and the wizard up there, nude on your, not nude, he had on tiny shorts, but almost nude. I could see his D, and he's on the ladder, and he's up there doing it, and the wizard's like, you got to redo all that. And then you swore to me, and this is not to make fun of you, because this show, I don't want the show to become, and it's kind of has become like, oh, let's just make fun of Tom. You swore to me that you had no flooding problem. Everything was good to go. Your drains. Thank you, Sam. He did say that.
Because
now I'm done.
I've spent the last 7 years in my house digging French drains.
When haven't you been working on that drain? Name a weekend you haven't been digging a drain.
I'm starting to think these things are bullshit because I also did that and my whole patio flooded.
I don't think French drains work.
I don't think they work.
When did we start trusting the French? We didn't trust them anymore. We've never trusted the fucking
Now all of a
French.
sudden we're trusting them with our fucking drains.
Yeah, they're rude as fuck. Their high butter sauces make us fat, and their food is overblown. It's not as good as the people say it is.
How are you supposed to know about drains if you can't fight in a war?
Exactly. You guys are weak-ass, non-drain pussies.
French kissing, overrated.
So, my wife won't let me do it because she says it's gross.
So
I would tongue kiss my wife every night, but she got to an age where she's like, I don't do it anymore.
You just have a little tongue?
She aged out of making out?
She aged out of making out and fingering. And I'm like, God, the two things I love. The two things I love. Making out and fingering. That's it.
Sometimes at the same time.
That's all I love. Oh,
Right?
at the same time? Oh, my
Of course
God.
at
I'll
the
marry
same time.
you. If you let me do it at the same time, Brendan, you're in the running.
I can put a wig on.
I
Turn
know
my
you-
back to you.
So
You can just pet my hair and pretend I'm somebody else. I'll just reach around.
This is horrible. I needed this.
the reach around.
I needed this.
So
What were you going to say about the reach around?
No, I'm just saying.
He's a fan.
I feel like that is something that I would do if I was into that, right?
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's logical.
Tom
It's like-
approves of the reach around.
It's like, well, what am I doing with my hands?
Might as well reach around.
Yeah. Both. Anyway,
When I play video games up here?
is there a reach around for heterosexual sex?
It could be for any kind of sex.
there's no.
Well, I'm just saying
Wait,
it
what do
doesn't
you
work.
mean?
Well, just
Reach
saying,
arounds for anybody.
you know, well,
You can reach around on an animal if you're a
Not as-
disgusting person.
I think it's for everybody.
Anyway,
He doesn't understand the mechanics.
Well, the one thing
All right,
I'm there.
stand up.
Yeah.
Stand up.
Brendan will show you.
You know, I'm reaching around and I'm milking it, and then with my wife, what am I doing now?
Gay. They look
I'm
pretty
just-
gay.
Wait, what do you mean?
What
with
do
your
you
wife?
mean?
You're doing nothing. You're straight ahead.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Where am I reaching around to?
You're not reaching. She's
What-
reaching.
what- She's reaching.
Wait, who's in
If
front?
she's pegging
You're in
you.
front.
Who's
She's
on
reaching
first?
around you.
Oh, she's pegging you.
Yeah.
Oh, the peg. Oh, okay. I didn't.
peg.
I wasn't thinking the peg. That's a whole.
Not just the cashier at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. Anyway,
You
so
really varied
the
from your
peg.
story. We're way off track now.
so
Much better than French drains.
Yeah.
I'm getting drunk.
Well, how would you say? Dude,
Wednesday night.
You're a responsible drinker.
What number claw were you
Compared
on?
to me at my worst, when like a year ago, I was drinking. I'd already be 8 deep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not keeping track.
What are you like 3, 4? Probably 4.
What am I, a math teacher?
Yeah.
And
All
you
I
don't
know-
drink liquor, right? You only drink Claw?
I'm drinking Seltzer's, White Claw.
Yeah.
So I
Super
at
fun.
about midnight. Now in preparation,
Are you smoking weed too?
I don't smoke it, but I eat it. But
Okay.
I ate it.
But he was definitely eating
that.
that.
Yeah.
He skipped dinner and ate edibles.
That makes you feel the White Claws more.
Yeah, I would argue.
Intensify it.
I would argue that the edible is a little more dangerous because you can't dose it right, dude. Because even though they tell me it's 20 milligrams, some of them I take and nothing happens, and some of them I take and they blow all my clothes off.
Do your kids know that you guys are imbibing?
My daughter knows I carry around a lot of ballpoint pens.
Oh, okay.
Because
a lot of pens.
I drink mine on ice, so it looks like I'm just really hydrated all the time. So they don't see. I tell them like
just a curious question.
I'm drinking LaCroix.
Because
I just say
what
LaCroix.
do straight people
And
do?
since I took my break, I was very open with Maisie about taking my alcohol break.
Oh, okay.
So now she will, just like her mom, she'll be like, "How many have you had?" And I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck did I do? What have
Never
you
tell
done?
them
You're
nothing.
an idiot." And she'll be like, "You've had 2. It's a 4-pack. You shouldn't." And I'm like,
Tell her to shut up or she'll never get married.
I know, right?
I
tell your mother to give me a reach around.
I tell my sons I've never been drunk. They ask me, like, "Have you been drunk before?" I'm like, "Hell no."
Hell no.
I've never drunk in my life.
I'm like,
But Daddy, weren't you called Drunky the Bear?
They must know that, right?
I'm like, "You'll know when I'm eating the cheeseburger."
My God.
shirtless."
The asshole.
I'll tell you.
God.
Anyways.
That was such a great video.
Will
While
there
you're
be a
filming
day
me.
one day like where you tell them the stories or like show them the video?
He already shows them
I
the
tried to.
videos.
They don't want it.
give a
Yeah.
damn.
Oh,
Not impressed.
Because I'm like, "Look at me jump Gravedigger," and like I shouldn't. They don't care.
they don't.
Well, they don't even know what Gravedigger is.
They
don't
no,
know,
they know. They don't find it that impressive.
Really?
Because no one finds what your dad does impressive.
One
that much.
day a girl will find out who you are, and they'll be like saying to your sons, "Oh my gosh, it's so cool! Your dad did all
That's
this."
true.
Amazing."
That's
and
true.
Then you'll be cool.
I send them to school in Tom and Dan shirts, and then ask them after. I'm like, "Did any of your teachers?
Did any of your teachers mention giving Daddy a reach around?
did your friends? Do your friends' dads listen? Or no one cares. No, nothing.
Anybody?
No one cares. Anyway, so
Give them a coupon.
I thought I had prepared enough, and I had drained because
I have drank.
Eight
well,
claws.
I drained my pool down to the
Euphemism.
like right at the skimmer level, and then my hot tub. I drained it all the way down to like a foot, just a foot of water. So hopefully that it would catch the runoff.
Is there a
my,
best practice for this? This was one of the first questions I had for pool draining. If you have a pool in Florida, can you drain it? Give me some more on this because can you drain it all the way out?
That's what I was going to ask.
No,
because it'll pop up, right?
Yeah, it's
if
dangerous.
the ground is too loose or compromised.
You could pop your pool out of the ground,
Hey.
especially.
Pop that pool big.
Actually, you're not supposed to drain your pool during a hurricane because of that.
Baby.
Why am I the only one at this fucking club popping my fucking pool?
The ground is so saturated that it'll literally lift your pool out.
Wow.
But I'm worried about all the water going into my back doors and all this stuff.
Just
because-
under the skimmer is what everybody's saying.
So anyway, I did that, and then I still had power in about midnight, right? And the storm was supposed to come in through like midnight through the whole night.
3.
And
That was a good
Oh,
dad burp.
I
That's
know,
classic.
sorry.
Oh my God!
Hold
Have you
that
been
in.
eating hot dogs?
No.
I smell hot dogs. Oh my God! Organic
Goddamn
meats. There's
old
jumbo
Denver.
bunker buster hot dogs.
You look really excited.
And so I had been draining my
Put your
pool.
boner away.
Jesus Christ. It was up in your waistband, dude. My God, who draws?
He spread his legs the widest he possibly
and then
could.
his boner came up
shorts
his
like,
waistband. Who draws a smiley face on their dick with a Sharpie? Who does that?
It was a little Sharon Stone from where I'm
Jesus
sitting.
Christ, are you trying to
He's trying to get that reach around.
Look, I've been trying to get Brendan in more. Are you trying to get him to go away, or did
No,
you enjoy
I think
that?
showing him my
Did you-
boner
Okay.
brings them back. Right.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I think
every
that's how
time
it
I
works.
come here, I see a pecker.
I'm sorry, I know. This motherfucker's his continental boner out here. It's a
Yeah.
free continental boner with every time you're on the couch.
Yeah.
So
Scotty Campbell's gonna start showing up.
Hey, now that'll get me happy.
So I bet what a lot of people do where I half-ass prepared,
Yeah.
and then right when I got home and started to wait, I realized I'm looking at the news and this monster hurricane. I'm looking at the track go over Orlando, and then I'm like,
Well,
oh,
it shifted. No, it did shift. It was Tampa. And then all of my friends up north, chunks from the hideout, everybody was texting me, hey, it just shifted to go right over you guys. And I'm like, what?
Yep.
And so, and at that time when I'm like, oh, all right, now we'll start bringing the patio
and
furniture.
This is midnight. And where's Crystal?
Not midnight.
Right now?
No, this I'm saying we're going back here a little bit. So why I'm saying I half-assed prepared is that I drained the pool around that time too. But I left thinking that, and this is because I don't know how pool filters work, obviously, is I left the drain hose on, and the way I basically got the filter with a black cap at the bottom of the filter that I put the drain hose on.
Okay.
And so the gravity starts draining out, and then when I turn the pump on, it pumps the water out of the bottom of my filter. Here's the problem. Is that I left the drain hose on thinking to myself, well, if an emergency situation, I'll just turn it back on and drain the hose.
Because the water will be in there.
Because instead of having to take the hose off and put it back on, I'm lazy.
Well, you're trying to be.
No, that sounded efficient.
Sometimes he gets himself into trouble because he tries to think to be efficient. But maybe he's less efficient because he blew it with the thinking.
So me and Crystal wander out there. It's midnight, and all the, I had drained everything I drained is now filled back up, right? Because it had been raining for 5 hours or whatever. So, then it was
really hammering rain. Man.
Pool's already full now.
Yeah,
and so I'm like, oh shit! I think at least we have power.
Left that hose on.
That's what I thought.
I'm a goddamn genius. Watch this. But did you call her over to show you how efficient you are?
Well,
because sometimes I do that where I'm like, check this out, and then it doesn't do it.
Well,
no.
Crystal, she's like, well, let's drain the hose or drain the pool.
Hey.
And then I said, well, I left the drain hose
on.
Went
outside.
So all we do is have to hit. We have an app where you go on there and just hit the pool. We'll drain the.
That's so cool, dude.
So I'm like, drain it. I gotta go pee. I'll be back. I go
drain the old snake.
Oh my God, you're like, this reminds me of something. I gotta go play. I'll be right back.
While I was peeing, I was like, you know what? This is the most prepared I've ever been. Usually I'm
gonna jack myself off. I'm paying. Oh, you deserve that, buddy. Good job.
I'm like, normally I'm panicking last minute. I'll be
myself reach around.
Back
when awesome. Wait till Brendan tears about it.
I remember in Irma, I was nude with a motocross helmet bailing my pool. I'm like, no more of that. I'm like, I'm a mature 40-year-old man
found
now.
dead nude with a.
Well, we'll get to that. So I'm like,
with your hog in hand.
I was giving myself compliments in my head. I'm like, you
have some nice ankles.
You've turned into a mature Florida father.
Look at you responsible.
I'm like, I'm 40 now. I've prepared. I've drained my pool. I left the hose on. I'm like.
Also, this is important to hear because Tom and I have probably the single worst self-talk of any two individuals I've ever known. Like the two of us
telling yourself about your ankles.
We literally whip each other inside our brains. It's just nothing but hatred and just being mean to ourselves at all times. Yeah, it's just the way we run our business.
Well, I'm about to tell you how that was an accurate thought that we've always had. Because then Crystal's
like, story is so long.
It gets worse. It gets worse.
I don't know if it's like holdover from all the weed I smoked last night, but I'm like,
get to it already.
Well, so the longest reach around I've ever had.
I hear this. It's smoking. It's burning up. And then I run out. I run outside.
Wait, what are you talking about? Were you cooking at the same time?
I run outside, and then I'm like, what? And she's like, I smell smoke. And then the pool pumps off.
Oh, my God. My dad from heaven screaming at you. I can hear him right now.
What
the fuck are you doing, drunky boy?
I burned the pool pump.
Oh, dude, why?
Because
Easy to find parts for pool pumps, I've heard.
During the hurricane.
All the leaves and stuff.
No. It was all the water had drained out of my pump because I didn't put the cap back on, so it just drained out.
And
then when I started it was dry. And
then never pump dry.
And then
there's a theme to today's show.
So now my pump is burned, and I have no way to empty the pool. Right? Yeah.
That's the new one.
The kids out there with a
bucket.
bucket.
Wait a minute, is this the new one? Because the other
one, those kids ain't doing shit.
The other one, you had such bad luck with getting repaired parts that you got a new. Is this a new unit? Whole new unit.
The filter's fine. The pump, the motor, the electric motor that pumps the water,
you have to replace that.
Is burned, and now there's nothing I could do to drain the pool.
I'm sorry.
The
chat room's saying $700 for a fucking pool pump.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Oh my stars!
What if you do like that siphon thing with a hose?
Well, too slow. You can.
I love you,
I
Brendan.
did that after the storm, but it is a trickle.
Comparatively.
And the water at this point in time, now it's 12:30 at night, and it is pouring
Well,
rain.
it's coming in now.
Exactly when my patio
Because
flooded.
3 a.m. was supposed to, for me, 3 a.m.
Yeah.
here at the studio, I was really worried. I was up. I was checking in here to make sure the studio had power. I'd shut everything down here. All I could do is prep here and prep there.
Oh, my gosh.
But 3 a.m. was our point of impact, really.
So I immediately start whipping myself because I'm
Mental
like,
whipping.
Yeah,
Like a Willow
because
song.
I'm like, what an idiot! I should have why didn't I put the cap back on and do this the right way? I'm sure if I went and easily searched online, they're like, yeah, you don't start the pump with the damn drain hose on in this model.
And it was done. There was no, it wasn't like.
it stunk like, I mean, you know, an electrical motor burns out, it stunk up my whole backyard. Smoking stunk. It's never coming back. Like I'm sure it melted inside. Anyway, so then I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to bail the pool by a bucket. And so I start bailing, and because I have no sandbags or nothing, and I know that in my pump, I do have an electric pump, like a sump pump on the side of my house, and it's pumping water out, but it's getting overwhelmed by the amount of water. I mean, it is crazy raining.
I'm doing the best I can, Top.
And then I put those gutter guards up to stop that waterfall of the shit, but all my oak leaf trees are getting blown off in these little oak bundles. That's the only thing I can
Go
describe
on our
them
website now to buy those too. We have our beautiful Tom and Dan oak bundles.
They
for sale. You can
whip-
go online. TomandDan.com/merchandise.
They blow off the trees, and they're getting in my gutters and causing the water to overflow onto my patio.
I know. All I hear is that you have to protect these trees with your life, but they cause you nothing.
no.
But all you do is complain. Leaves, bundles, corns, acorns.
Flooding.
Limbs. It's like
Corn.
I'm not joking. Crystal was hugging them the other day.
you know, you gotta
I
leave
was
it
like,
alone.
"This." I thought this was a goddamn joke. My papa would
Tree-hugging
make.
hippie?
I
Reach
was
around on
hugging
the
it.
tree.
You
When's
never
the
hugged a
last time
tree?
she's hugged you?
The tree's got a bigger dick.
true.
Big old tree dick.
Also,
Big limbs.
the same as hugging an oak tree. That's
What if the oak tree had more emotion in it?
that's how Crystal.
I swear to God, I felt a branch.
That's how Crystal describes sex with me, hugging an oak tree. So anyway,
It's actually not that bad. To be described as an oak tree is a compliment. sir.
Yeah.
so I.
Big roots.
So then I'm putting the ladder up, getting on my roof. This is during the hurricane.
And
by the way.
you know I worry about you doing that, dude, because you do it barefoot, which I feel like standing on a ladder barefoot is insane.
While it's wind and rain.
It's just insane.
I'm taking all the shit out, so
get
the
it.
waterfall good. Back off the ladder, bail.
That's how you die in a hurricane, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
this I get to this. So then,
When he's
Wait,
waiting
are you
and
dead?
frail.
What's happening right now?
but then the whole time,
Oh my God!
Wait, I saw a ghost boner?
I'm fat Haley Doe Osment.
Haley Doe Osment.
Haley Doe. I'm Haley Doe.
I'll be like,
What's your name? Haley Del Osment.
He's been dead ever since they hired Lee.
That's how Casper.
Lee killed
Who's been
him.
signing my checks?
So anyway,
Everyone
It was
always
all the
asks.
plot.
Everyone asks who Casper was before he died. It's Haley Del Osment.
so about 2:30, Crystal gives up. She's like, stop doing this.
I want a divorce.
She's like, I can't do it anymore.
Can't do this anymore.
Completely unrelated.
So she was also helping you with the bucket.
She was trying to help. She's like, my
that's
back
nice.
is killing me. I can't do it anymore.
It's not
Fuck.
sustainable.
She's like, it is what it is. And then so we panicked and started moving everything. We moved the goddamn rowing machine that no one uses. So by the way, I was like, what's so heavy? And there's fucking clothes on it.
The irony of the irony that you're
rowing machine.
it's a rowing machine. Like you should be able to get on the water to ride
Row
on
away,
it.
yeah.
It's equivalent to moving a cinder blocks, like a pallet of cinder blocks.
If
It
you
was
had
like-
used it more, it would have been easier to move.
That's true.
And so we're moving all this shit out of the office.
It's
and then-
really well built. It's a Hydro, and
Oh.
it's the one I love, even better than the Peloton one they just released. And it is built like a fucking tank.
all of our patio furniture. We're moving out.
rowing.
Like Crystal's trying to move the shit. She's like, the documents. all the documents are on
we
our
keep
bed.
them outside.
But the kids are
They'll
sleeping in
never
our
find
bed.
our documents.
They
if we
keep them on the
outside.
roof in case of floods.
It's so all this stuff, like we're moving out all because I'm thinking thinking because I have 2 drop down rooms in my patio, and I'm like, well, they're gonna flood because the pool's gonna overflow.
Yeah. He's got 2 drop down rooms and 1 get your eagle on room.
And then
that's for all you old.
Is that an American?
What a reference.
Those are the old timers.
So Crystal,
where veterans jack off.
So-
What is the get your eagle on?
I'm standing there, and then I'm watching the pool just slowly fill up, right?
Oh.
And then I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm not gonna stop. I'll stop when
Can't stop, won't stop.
when the power goes out because my sump pump is still going. It is completely underwater by a foot, but it's pumping some water out. So I'm like,
What if you put your sub pump in the pool?
Well, it
Can't do. It didn't work like that.
because if I do that, if I move the sump pump, all the water from the side of my gutters are just going to overwhelm my house too. So it's either going to come from my pool or the side of my house.
Oh my gosh.
Because anyway, so
Brendan's bored again.
I'll get you.
I'm joking.
I'll get you.
I'll get to the point. So
I'm trying to figure out what happened in the last episode of Lord of the Rings.
I decide I'll stop when the power goes out because I'm listening to Transformers explode at this point. Like I'm hearing.
Are you getting up there? Because I got to paint this picture a little bit better for those of us that know that you've done this multiple times.
Yeah.
Are you in your Tiny Dukes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shirt off, Tiny Dukes, that's it.
Headband and a bucket.
Yeah, and a
now,
bucket.
how is, and this, you didn't think of this, and I'm surprised because normally you're the details girl. How's his shoulder able to even?
That's true. I didn't think about
Adrenaline.
that.
How are you able?
Just pure.
Are you fucked up now? Because like he came over.
Oh, yeah. Are you drunk and you're just powering?
The day we did that show, the
Not
Waiting for
paying attention
Ian
to
show,
phone.
Yeah.
he comes in here and it's like quiet because everything started to get more quiet around here and he could start to hear his shoulder more. So he comes in here and he goes, "Listen to
Crickling and
this."
cracking.
He's like, "Listen to this. It is.
That's disgusting.
It's
don't
so
do it.
loud.
Well, it's swollen now, so it stops
It's
doing
smooth.
that.
Oh,
when it's swollen.
my
He's got a
God.
fat shoulder now. It's smooth and fat.
I'm getting an MRI in a
Like
couple
me.
weeks.
Could get
So
a cortisone shot.
I was bailing 15 buckets and then taking a White Claw break, and I was doing that for hours, right?
Keeping hydrated.
Now the problem is
15 buckets is a lot. Dude.
by
Jesus
2:30, Crystal gave up. By 2:30 or whatever, I've probably done 250 buckets, 5-gallon buckets of water to the point where I couldn't lift my arms anymore, and I was just like taking the bucket and just trying to like
dump it, pushing
like
it over.
pushing it,
Yeah.
so just
I
going
wanna
to the
Can I
grass.
ask a dumb
We need
question?
to make sure that your neighbors don't have like outside cameras where there's somebody has
Oh.
this.
Oh my God! It looked
on
like those
video.
I've got
YouTube.
cameras.
It looked like
What
those
the fuck?
YouTube videos of the Mud
Send us
Boys.
the footage. We have to see this.
It'll look like those Mud Boys when they build a palace out of just
and
like
then we'll speed it up.
Yeah.
It'll turn out he did 5 buckets.
I know exactly.
and 15 white
He's
claws.
like, I could have left it.
That's what I would have done.
What happens if you put the cover over the pool? Don't you have a cover?
Cover?
What's that gonna do?
What is this? Detroit? Who's got a pool cover in Florida?
It's so cold.
Is that
in
a
the day.
thing?
Yeah. I mean, some people, rich, the ultra rich, have pool covers. I don't know, like but usually,
But I don't think it does anything.
Pool
It's-
covers are for like winterizing your pool.
But it's still going to fill up with water. The cover will
Yeah,
do
yeah.
nothing to.
The water has to go somewhere. Anyway, so I decided like I'm just gonna keep bailing. So it's now 3:30.
What are
now,
the boys doing? Are they
Now
asleep?
they've been asleep since 10.
That's the peak of the storm.
3:30.
Yeah.
And
he was telling me
it
he's
is
laying on the roof and he's hearing explosions.
it is
God.
bad outside, but I still have power. So I'm like, I'm gonna try to save my
your
damn.
skin looks so good, exfoliated.
I didn't want to give up, and then I flood.
roof.
And then if it did flood my house, me constantly thinking, could I have just done more work and avoided this or whatever?
No regrets. Regrets.
Especially since I burned my pool pump out from the
my
lack of
God.
looking.
Were
So
you crying a little bit?
So now
He doesn't cry.
I'm mad.
would be
I'm
the
just
time.
mad. And then mad the whole time.
Yeah.
And so also shit face like to the
Yes.
and I'm not saying like
Are you like slapping your cheeks like get your shit together?
yeah.
Blind?
I am near,
on, bro.
I could not drive.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying this is a couple beers.
How did you
I
see
trying
you
to not
didn't have
get
your
it-
glasses on,
like,
dude?
Like for me not to be able to drive.
You're also now
physically-
probably like anger chugging claws.
Yeah.
Right?
And
You're
I
so
haven't eaten
fucking
since
pissed.
since like ate dinner. Like we ate
Oh, yeah.
we ate early thinking that the power was gonna go out. So I think
Yeah.
we ate at like 6 or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm shit faced.
So it's 12 hours of
Yeah.
just drinking.
Yeah,
no eating.
yeah.
I
And
think
then
that's most people.
and then from the physical
Guys, do you have
exertion.
snacks? Oh, you gotta get the hurricane snacks.
Physical exertion
Bagel
makes
bites.
you more drunk if you have alcohol in your system.
Yes.
Yeah. It makes you lightheaded. When you lift the buckets and you push them out, and then you get
You're-
lightheaded, you
Yeah.
got to drink again.
Your heart is pumping the alcohol through
Yeah.
more efficiently. Anyway, so I'm like thinking
Thinner
to
blood,
myself.
faster moving blood.
So then the gutters are clogged, waterfalls. Now, Crystal told me don't go on the roof anymore without me being here because
I want to watch you die to make sure and go over there, just back over you a few times.
Just like
make
when
sure
I
it's
killed
done.
Santa Claus.
It's done.
But I'm done. My house is gonna flood. I am gonna save my property. This is what the vans do.
I admire this.
Toxic masculinity.
You can feel the ghost of your dad or your granddad like killing you.
Oh, these answers.
Thomas, it's your father. You must drunkenly save your abode by laying tiny dukes on your roof.
Die for your property.
That didn't sound like your grandfather or your
Then
dad. But, just go with it.
I coined the term Florida Lieutenant Dan because I will die saving my property just like my dad did, and then my sons will. And then when I die, my sons will be like, next hurricane, I will go try to save my property and die too.
I feel
it's the Van family way.
I feel. What if your boys
It'll
are
be
like?
Max, though.
What if your
Tommy-
boys would be like?
Tommy won't do it.
We all die and save our iPads.
My dad took his boat out to a Cat 5. I'm just standing on my roof, Category 1 barely.
Your
Wait,
boys.
did you
less
save
and
the
less.
house? Is the house saved?
So I'm on my roof and I'm racking my fingers across the.
Let me see your.
the grates.
Oh, no.
Like so.
Look at his fingers. Look at his fingers. They're blood. They're blood fingers, dude. That's disgusting.
And then I'm on my roof. It's 3:30 in the morning, middle of the hurricane, and I'm looking at the tree because I have trees all around my house. I'm like, if one of these branches, like, they are going crazy. So I did think to myself,
They're whipping back and forth like a Christian concert.
Or maybe they're all like, "You got this. You got
like a
this."
bunch of-
They're cheering you on.
They're
Keep
like
going,
a bunch of kids at Night of Joy.
if one of these branches come down and fall on me,
you're dead.
There's no one, and I'm gonna be like, help!
And your whole family's asleep.
Or he's just paralyzed. Then he does become Florida Storm Lieutenant Dan.
No.
I'm like, I shit my pants. I can't feel.
Everybody woke up because they heard you yelling up on the roof.
You know what's
And then I
embarrassing?
can't get down, so I have to throw my legs down first.
You know what's embarrassing is when they find you the next day and you have shit your pants and you're paralyzed, but you're just laying on your roof and they have to carry
your
you down.
shit,
They have to carry you down. That's embarrassing.
And then I'm like, it's a nice day outside.
Wow, it's nice and cool out here. It's nice and cool. I wish I could skimboard. Oh, my legs are fucked.
And they'll never know.
Where are my sons? How are your iPads?
When I was
Did
on-
you put them in the Ziploc bags?
I worked really hard.
When I was on my roof, I was like, man, I don't learn my lesson about anything. So I get down.
This is what I was afraid of, by the way, and I don't want to say that because then I come off like the overly cautious Carl.
What were you afraid of?
Of him doing this. This is why I brought it up on that show. I was like,
Well, it sounds like you encouraged him to do it.
So
Just by bringing it up.
power explodes. It goes out
When you were on the roof?
No, it's like 4:35. I came down.
you said you were hearing a lot of
the Transformers.
Transformers blowing.
And once the power
Blue
went
lights
out,
everywhere.
I was like, well, that's it. The sump pump's not pumping anymore.
Yeah.
I give up. And then
You
I
did your best.
I threw my bucket down, and then I was the most defeated. I was just standing
Did
there.
you go to your knees?
In
You
the
have to go to
rain.
your knees like that, like a
Shawshank.
samurai. You have to go to your knees like a samurai, and you just collapse, and you just like,
And a
go ahead, kill me, do it.
and then
With the blood coming down your face, look at me.
fall on your bucket.
I go inside. I take my wet clothes off. I put shorts on. I sit on my couch. I pass out. And then
Looking like a big old fucking prune.
Tommy wakes me up about 6 a.m.
Probably looking kind of swole after lifting, you know.
And at 6 a.m., my back patio's flooded. My pool's to the literally over spilling or
And
whatever.
your wife was like,
The-
you gave up.
Oh, you fucking pussy.
And Tommy woke me
You
up
had
because
one thing to do, Tom.
he goes, now it's still pouring rain at
Fuck the tree.
at 6 in the morning, right? And so I go on the fucking my phone and I'm looking at like WESH and I'm trying to look at the storm track to see how much longer it's gonna rain because I'm like a couple more hours of this rain and it's flooding my back.
It's just gonna come in.
And the most
Knock your
defeated.
fence down and put it in your neighbor's yard.
I've never sat there and listened to pouring rain every second, hoping like, please stop, just stop, because I was like,
God.
you're making it worse.
Did you think to pray to a fake God?
Dear God.
Did you pray?
Dear Jesus
No.
Christ,
Dear
if you
God,
are
please make
real.
me a pump so I can pump this water away.
Dad, if you can hear me, use your storm powers, Dad.
I was like,
Far,
just
far away from
just
here.
be in because
Dear God, please make me a bird so I can fly far.
I ain't never had a real simp pump before.
So I go on
Blindside
channels. I'm watching, and then the reporter showing the storm track, and then it's like they're like it's over Orlando. We're expecting 2 more hours of rain. And then he's drawing the thing, and Tommy's looking. I'm like, Tommy, we're looking at it, and Tommy looks over at it, and he's like, that's a penis. He does the goddamn night court meme that we were showing him earlier, and then all I could do was laugh because
he is the best time.
Because
I told you
because he's right, because he's just making a joke. Because I was like, well, there's nothing.
He saw Daddy was sad.
I'm ultimate
It's not
stress.
that bad, Dad.
Yeah, because he's like, what else do you do? I'm just you're
not
too.
that bad.
And that's the first time you cried.
We're at the mercy of the fucking
He's
weather,
right.
and
No,
we can't
he's
change
right.
it. We cannot fucking change
He's
it,
right.
and we just got to sit there and
we
take
should
it,
all be like Tommy.
and then clean up after.
Did the first floor flood?
And no, well, lucky dude. I was watching it, and it came in through our office a little bit, and then we put a bunch of towel. We cleaned it
And you
up,
got
but we were
tile there, right? Yeah.
we were lucky compared to everybody. Like I'm watching people's houses get flooding. We're near people live near rivers and waterways
Where are
and
you
shit.
again?
In Castleberry, basically.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Maitland.
Maitland.
My entire
is mostly
street
uphill.
flooded, and then the neighbor's garage got it. Luckily, I put all that. I resodded my property. I raised it up, so like my neighbors got flooded, but it didn't get into my
There's
garage.
still people getting evacuated by boat today.
Because the water keeps on draining into these waterways, and the water's right. I feel bad anybody lives on St. John's because it's just going to get worse and worse as the week goes on. You know,
Andrea's dad just bought a brand new waterfront place, and it hadn't been finalized.
On the river?
I don't know. I have to get the particulars, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think it. I think everything at some point goes on hold because they're like, well, let's see how this shakes out first.
I have a friend who lives over by the Econ, and they're up on stilts, and they said it's just an island. They're just trapped in their house.
Yeah. It's
crazy.
Solar power.
It's because
It's nuts.
all this water has to have somewhere to go too, so it all gets drained into our waterways, and then anybody living on the waterways, like it just continues to rise. So anyway, let's take a break because I want to talk to Brendan about all the stuff that he saw going on, because I saw the people swimming in Lake Eola.
Oh my
and
God!
all that.
Jesus Christ!
Their parents are not happy. I shared that video.
You can always swim in Lake Eola. I mean, it's not allowed, but I'm saying, like, what made the hurricane bring them out to swim? Like, if they wanted to, they could have done it last week.
I've
got some theories.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you should
we'll
never
talk about
do it. But yeah. The name of the artist is Sunking. The name of the song is "My Mind Is an Oven." We'll be back with more A Mediocre Time momentarily. 1-844-TOMNDAN. If you want to call us and tell us about your hurricane experience, show at tomanddan.com for last minute emails or emails, not emails. And we'll be right back.
Humans respond emotionally to this. I always forget I have to leave.
That is Harbor, the name of the song, Bahamas. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. And I absolutely promise you that even though in that song he says worrying about his mom's house in the Bahamas, it had nothing to do with the hurricane. I'd already selected this song weeks ago. It was in rotation, and just for whatever reason it made sense. But welcome back.
So we're going to be hopefully at Hollabox October 14th for the beginning of their Oktoberfest. I know that they were hit hard from the storm and flooded and stuff, and I reached out to Chef Pat and see if they need anything. But you follow them on Facebook and see. I'm sure they'll put out anything that if you could help. Because I know a lot of people want to help each other, especially if they can.
They were looking for locals to help them yesterday. I would assume that they're okay now. Especially with
Is it still flooded downtown?
With help. I believe it is still flooded down there from what I understand.
As of 2 hours ago, they said that they are all cleaned up, but they are still without power.
Okay.
Wow.
But they do hope to be open for dinner service tonight.
I mean,
they get power.
I mean, they just say the word. I mean, I'm sure we can get an army of people to help them out if they ever needed it. You know, I mean, they don't need it now, but
and
I feel so bad for these businesses and places that are historic and so beloved to all of us that are just going to take a real big shot to the chin. Sucks.
When I'm seeing some even BDMs with their house flooded and stuff, and like walking around in their living room with 2 feet of water and stuff, and it's like, oh my God. But what makes it worse is all your stuff floats around too. Like, it's not just your
that
couch.
can be problematic. Don't film my house. If my house is flooded, don't film it. You don't want to see my bills floating around.
Because no, it's
pictures.
just
My wife's dildo floats. No, just don't film.
But it's like anything that's laying around or like falls off, it just ends up floating around the house too, which somehow
also
makes
turn
it
your
worse.
breaker off.
You know what
that's all I
sucks
think
is that originally, if my house were to flood, you'd instantly start seeing a lot of you'd see how dirty our house is. Like a lot of dog hair would float. Like, I'm just being honest. A lot of dog hair, a lot of dust would float up. A lot of purchases that I don't use anymore would float. You know, a lot of things. It'd
just
be bad.
just things.
So we should call Seth next hour too, just to check in and see.
See how his dad is doing.
I saw his house.
Dad with his cleanup.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, had water in it. So Brendan, what'd you do during the storm?
Oh, I thought we were going to continue with plugs because we have other stuff.
Oh yeah. Is there anything else to
So
plug?
Sunday, October 23rd, we are going to be at the Solar Bears game.
Yeah.
Go to the website, click on it. You can get our Tom and Dan section.
Did you know Tom and I are official Solar Bears now?
No.
Yeah. Section 118. We're Solar Bears
Yeah,
now.
you should come out.
Oh yeah, we got.
I know their marketing guy left, so we were trying to do stuff too. I'm jealous.
We got a section.
You're doing stuff with them now because keep hanging out with us.
I love Solar Bears.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on.
What I really want is one of those tables behind the net.
Right?
They get
Those
those
are
like
awesome.
those are really
VIP.
cool.
Yeah. We're not that cool.
We're not that cool.
We just got a
section 118. You know?
Okay, so that sounds great.
It's a start. It's a start.
Yeah. I know we got 50, 60 people out there, BDMs that are already coming, and it's family friendly.
I'm so happy.
Like, I'm bringing my kids. They're excited.
Oh,
My sons are
so
excited to watch.
Dude.
But some people ask that, they're like, "Can I bring my kids?" What do you think we're going to do? Like, what do you think of
Someone
us?
asked me if it was clothing optional. So.
Yeah. I mean,
clothing optional.
I will just say, if you're bringing your
everything's clothing optional.
If you're bringing your kid, you're probably not gonna. I'm probably not gonna pull my dick out.
Right.
I'm just gonna be honest. I'm just gonna be honest. If you're bringing your kids, I'm not gonna pull my dick out in section 118.
But hockey
what do people think of me?
sexy.
They think I'm walking around naked at a fucking hockey game?
I guess. I mean,
Selling more tickets.
It will. I mean, fill the section. My God, we have a waiting list now. Section 118 is sold out.
Also, the pre-sale we have the warning track with the 2 different hats and the shirt that ends tomorrow, October 1st. So please get those in if you want them, as well as the Eric Pabon Halloween pre-sale shirt also ends tomorrow, and the what is it? The T&D Vibes shirt, I believe, is the featured merch item of the week, and it's $15.
$15. I wore that shirt yesterday. Also, I'm going to be out at the Solar Bear. I think the Solar Bear game. I'm going to be out at the one on Thanksgiving.
You're going Thanksgiving, yeah.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to join me, get your tickets because I'm gonna try to officially find a place for us to go and do Thanksgiving dinner before we go to the game.
Oh, that's nice.
So, it'll be fun. I'm gonna do turkey puck.
Who's doing
something.
turkey food?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something.
Oh, like a turkey burger and it's a puck?
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's fun.
That would rule, right? But come out there and hang with me, man. My whole family's coming on Thanksgiving. We're going to go and do hockey instead of regular Thanksgiving.
Yeah, with our partnership, obviously, we're going to be at as many games as we can this season, home games. So it's not just the first one. We're just doing the first big home game. We're all going to be there. And then we're all picking dates throughout the entire season for home games to go to. So we'll be releasing that. But Daniel's going out to one in November.
Oh, you got to wait on the tickets for the November game. Tracy's saying, hold off.
Yeah.
Because it won't be available. But I'll be talking about it, and I'd love for you guys to come out and celebrate Thanksgiving with me.
You can get season tickets, or they even sell bundles of 5-game tickets.
Yeah.
You can call them and ask for tickets in 118.
It's way easier just to call. And they're $20 tickets, but is that I got asked by a bunch of people, is that 20 with all the charges and everything, or is it going to be closer to 23?
No, I bought some for my mom and sister and niece, and I bought 3 tickets that were near our section because we're in row 14, I believe.
I believe so.
And then it was only $65 for the 3 tickets.
So minimal fees. Great.
It was only taxes, I believe. It wasn't
even no fees. Great.
Worth it.
Anyway.
Yeah, totally.
So Brendan, what'd you do during the storm?
I don't handle hurricanes very well.
Yeah.
As a Canadian, and And
do you not like them or?
No, I don't. Well, who like?
Were our jokes offensive to you? Did we not take
I
it
was
seriously?
very triggered.
Okay.
No. I was find things to do. Like I am lucky enough to have this newsy gig, so I kind of just spend the whole time refreshing Twitter for as long as I can and updating people. And we have like a running list of things you need to know that goes up on bungalore.com. So I just update that list all through the storm, and then if there's any like bigger stories that come out of that, we'll share that too. And then Instagram, this time we were just getting crazy footage from people all through the storm, so we just started sharing that footage, and it blew up. Like it's the busiest time of year is like during disasters. That's the biggest time for Bungalore because everybody already kind of trusts us for those updates, so they just come to us.
We're so local and so community driven that everybody like they want to tell their community what's going on. And
you're trusted. I mean, you've earned that over years of doing it.
Knock on wood. Yeah.
Well, but there is a level of trust that comes with you, like either breaking stories about things that are in our community that are important to us. But there is some
like things down to like the
there.
level of like what streets you can go down, and like nobody reports on that, right? So people want to know who's open serving food yesterday, who was open. You didn't know
who was open.
Nobody could say.
Wawa was open.
Wawa was open.
Depends on the Wawa, but
I guess,
or Tornatore's Ristorante over in College Park was open. I don't know how they did it because they they lost power at one point.
A lot
but
of the streets around them were flooded. How did people
flooded.
get to them?
And you weren't really supposed to be driving anyway yesterday, so they were trying to serve like their pocket of people in College Park, but people were driving there.
Do the police
they didn't have any food.
Does the infrastructure within our city, do they have any guidelines that they give you or even businesses or different hospitality and saying like, hey, I know that you got to stay open because y'all got guys, but don't be doing that.
We didn't have a curfew.
Or is that an overreach?
There was no curfew in Orange County, really. Winter Park had a curfew yesterday briefly after the storm until like 5-ish.
Until 5.
Just because they were so flooded, right? And all those streets were just shut down. And so they needed some time to clear the streets and make sure it wasn't dangerous for all the rich people that live there. And they're the only ones that were kind of limiting it for, I can't remember the type of job. Like necessary jobs. What's the word?
Well,
what were they calling
rescue
them
worker,
during the pandemic? Now I can't remember.
Essential
workers. Essential workers.
Sorry, I forgot it because I'm so non-essential that it doesn't fucking matter what I do.
You're news too. Like I would argue you're news. I would argue
jokes, and Mike from Mike's Weather Page, he's out there he's like, I'm in the storm, and I'm like, ha ha.
You arguably, you could have gone out. Like Jet Press is allowed.
I'm not going. That's a fucking hurricane out there. I'm not going out in that.
If you want,
I'll stand on my roof.
Anyway, this guy's pressed. He's in his underwear on his roof.
So I was just smoking weed all night and updating Twitter. And
that's what we all did, right? We all smoked weed.
I slept in the bathroom. Scotty Gamble does not care.
So wait a minute. So
everybody's concerned.
Were you scared?
Levels.
Were you? So you slept in the bathroom?
We're in an old house that we're trying to buy.
But you were okay with your loved one blowing away? Like you're like, you sleep in the bed, you blow away.
They're going to blow away.
Well, at this point, we've done this enough where I will find a safe spot.
Go to your corners.
He doesn't care, and he's fine. So he's fine.
I don't give a fuck.
Sleep on the couch.
Fuck this hurricane.
Yeah, he's like, if this is how I go, this is how I go. I'm not going to go sleeping on a floor like a chump. That's kind of like the energy he gives off.
Did you make like a little fort in there or anything?
Yeah, did you sleep in the tub?
A blanket fort?
Not even in the tub, just because I'm big and we have a tiny tub.
Okay, yeah.
When we're trying to buy the house is like, we just had a 4-point inspection, and they're like, this roof is at the end of its life. Oh. And then this hurricane came. There's like basically no insurance.
Yeah.
This is how I go. The roof's going to get blown off, and I'm going to die.
Well, perfect timing, the fact that now, new roof.
Yeah. We got a guy.
Yeah. We're trying. Okay, I wouldn't even say he was trying to work on it, but we've been waiting months for them to sign a quote.
In Miami, they call that good luck.
Yeah, I do that.
I just say, when you need a roof and a hurricane's coming, everyone's like, yes.
We're trying to get insurance to close the bid. We can't get insurance. There's a moratorium on houses in Florida.
That's how my dad passed away, by the way. He couldn't get insurance on his boat. So he's like, I'm going to take it out and save it.
God, this guy, every minute of the day, this guy's bringing up his dad. Good Lord.
So processing it.
Anyway, I got a theory, Brennan. Tell me if this is true. Or you think this is true.
Okay.
So
I'm receiving it.
The meme that's spread around the internet of the reporter with the condom on her microphone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
We're obsessed with it.
When I saw that, and then she puts out an explanation video because obviously it became a huge meme, and she's like, "Yeah, I did this so to waterproof it. It had
did
utility
you really
reason."
need to explain that? Because we all know why you put a condom on it. Because it's what we
Well,
understand
there
the
are lots of
waterproofing
people-
part. You idiot.
Not if you read those comments, a lot of people didn't understand. Like, why?
Hey,
why?
that's a dick.
You know,
You get a lot of that.
Was she fucking the microphone?
You get a lot of that. Yeah.
Stupid.
well, what I was curious about is
People are so dumb.
Is she fucking the microphone?
I've watched.
Obviously, you did this because
That
you're
is the
fucking
question.
the microphone,
Please
not
make that the
because you
question.
want to keep your microphone waterproof.
So it led me to believe that this was a publicity stunt, that she did this on purpose,
You're right.
thinking that it was going to go viral. And now follow me with this logic, because in the time I've been alive,
I spent
I've
a lot
seen,
of time following you.
I've seen a lot of reporters standing in the rain,
Yeah.
and, reporting on
I don't know what
hurricanes.
type of mics they have that don't get.
I've seen it hundreds of times, right? And they never have a condom on their microphone. They never have any bag on their microphone. They never have anything.
I
So
get too much lipstick on my mic at Drag Bingo, and it cuts out. So I
Well-
don't even know how they're.
Yeah,
what mics
light
are they
that tells
rain-
me there's some sort of like waterproof mics. That
Well,
they
light
use,
rain on
or-
an SM58, just the ones that we have here. We have a couple of microphones that we use here
Uh-huh.
for when we do mobile shows. In fact, one of them's right there. That microphone right there has been completely submerged in water or whatever. Like, and it's
And it was
fine.
fine.
You know, it's a hit or miss with like really well made, like the SM58. If you get a little rain on it, it's fine. You ain't gonna
So,
do nothing. It's
did
fine.
she do this for a publicity
Correct.
stunt, or was it really for utility in a pinch and
I
she
think
needed?
utility. I also like that she's packing, some safety backup.
Well,
Because I don't know how sexy your cameraman is. Can we pull that up somehow? Like,
Oh,
who is
so
this
you want to
sex-
see what he
Right?
looks? Okay.
Yeah, because why is she carrying condoms during a storm? Like I guess there's lots of idle time in between. shoots.
What kind of condom? Do we know what type of condom?
well,
Red? Was it a red condom? Because they use those in porn.
It wasn't
and
a
I
golden
fucking
ticket.
hate the red condom.
Not a golden ticket for sure.
Not a big one.
No.
Apparently, it's fairly common. People are saying, like in the audio community, to waterproof a small microphone, either use a rubber balloon or condom.
Hopefully
but-
not lube.
but use
but
a
we've
balloon.
never. But I'm saying we've all watched the.
Again, I think it is because of what I said before, where I think that people would think that they would get made fun of for
Yeah.
using a condom,
Yeah.
so they never did it. This lady's like, fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah,
Well-
we got things to do. She's got a
No,
job to do.
I
But they
think
all
you're-
didn't do it, and it was fine.
But we're all
right?
talking about it now, and she clearly.
Plus,
it
it'd be
did
way
become-
worse, I think, for clowning on him if it was a guy with a condom on a microphone
Oh,
than a girl,
true.
right?
It would be. She knew exactly what she was doing.
they
In
didn't
my
need it.
opinion, I
No,
feel like
if a
didn't
guy
need
did it, they wouldn't
Yeah.
even
They-
care.
She
I
didn't
think
need
they
it,
would.
and then she probably at the last minute said, "Is this going to ruin when my microphone get wet?" The engineer said, "No, we don't need to put anything on it." She's like, "Well, what if we put a condom on it?" Oh my god, I bet people
What's
go
the
crazy.
sound
And then-
quality, though?
And then they talk about it. It's fine. I mean, it's not going to be.
That's what I'm saying.
Ultra thin.
Yeah.
It was.
The sound was great.
Durex.
It was
Use
done-
the Durex Ultra Thin. You know, I'm proud to say I blew out a Durex one time. I'm not going to say it's because of size. I'm just going to say because it was Ultra
I
Thin.
wish she
Ultra
said
thin.
something like, "Oh yeah, no, I got a strawberry flavored one from Fairvilla, just
Right.
because I needed something to smell
Well,
good."
the red ones
Yeah.
I hate. I hate the red condoms because it makes your dick look like a dog's dick, and nobody wants to see
How'd
that.
the hurricane threads go?
So.
Oh,
yeah.
disgusting.
Did you guys check out the Discord?
I'm like, locked me out. They kicked me out of there.
I didn't know. Well, I was.
Oh, you're bailing water for
Yeah.
12 hours.
I was
Yeah.
I was
And
I
they
looked
kicked
for a
me out.
hurricane thread.
I went in there, too. They
I was
kicked me out.
disappointed that no hurricane thread this year. I was like, oh.
I went in there, and then I went on the Discord. It's like there's a page they have, like BDM exhibition.
Well, why didn't they do it on the
I just use it
Facebook
for
page?
AI art.
Well, this one I
Well, you
went to.
can't post
and-
nudity to Facebook.
And I haven't
You
joined
can
it.
in
I
the
used to
comments.
be in there,
Uh-huh.
but they kicked me out
Oh.
for inactivity. I think for not showing my
Okay.
ding
And
dong.
we've done a hurricane thread, and there was nudity on
yeah,
it.
but they all got pulled within the past year. They've been
Yeah.
pulling shit since like 2015 now. They're going back and going through everything and pulling everything.
Discord?
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Facebook. No, Facebook.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And
And if we get reported enough or we get enough pulls, then they'll shut down the whole goddamn
The
page.
grid's good now, though. It cleaned up over the hurricane.
okay.
Actually, it got a green rating. It used to be a yellow rating. Now it's a green, so we're good.
Anyway, so let's talk about people swimming in Lake Eola.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Well,
and
it
like
flooded.
straight
it
up
flooded.
ditches and
Yeah,
ponds.
Lake
Yeah.
Eola catches all the stormwater from downtown Orlando. That's all
It's
of our lakes
function.
are stormwater catchment systems, right? And
Yeah.
so Lake Eola overflowed its banks, and basically the whole park was gone. It was just water, even up into like Robinson Street.
Yeah.
Which is named after the guy who used to live there, Mr. Robinson. That was his little ranch. He was a pig farmer.
Eddie Murphy. Mr. Robinson's neighborhood.
Here's to you.
That's a 70s joke.
And that was my 70s joke.
So
Mrs. Robinson.
Did the people?
Thanks.
Because this brings up another
it
thing
looked
I
very
had.
inviting, right? So it was a lake, it was giant, and then these young guys went out, and there's tons of footage of them jumping into the lake and swimming out to the fountain and jumping up onto the fountain.
Yeah.
The cops went out and got them. That's being shared more.
Did they get arrested?
I don't know if they got arrested.
Okay.
It's definitely a misdemeanor to swim in the lake, and you can get fined up to like $500.
Damn.
For swimming there. Plus, you have to get like a hazmat test after, just because it's so gross and polluted. And even more so with the stormwater stuff. It's just gross.
Lake, Tom, this lake is so. This lake is so fucking. This lake is so. Her womb. This lake's womb is so fucking polluted. Okay.
It takes the romance out of the swans and the.
It's just fun to say.
It's so polluted that if you get into it, you have to take a test after. Like how bad is it?
Lake Eola is so polluted.
I have such a boner from you talking like that.
I'm gonna talk like that all day long.
Oh yeah, like
my brain is so polluted.
Oh yeah, come up behind me and say it in my ear.
Her womb is polluted.
It's a weird psychological thing where people are drawn to like spectacles by social media. Like it happened in Tampa with the bay coming, getting drained out.
Go out in it.
By the way, if I saw that and I lived there, I would be shit.
Yeah.
Like this,
terrified.
Let's get that's what happens before a tsunami.
Exactly.
You know, like
That's exactly
it
what I
drains
thought.
it out. It's like to me, I'd be like, well, it's coming. Like get the the people
Although
walking
I would
far
want
out.
to see, I'd want to see if there were any cars or anything.
Can we
there,
talk about a tsunami? If you know that initial when you're getting pulled out for the initial wave slam, right? Goosh. What I would like to do, and maybe this is where I become you, is I feel confident enough that if I were on a piece of wood or something, that I could run into it and go out with the initial and then paddle behind it. So when it initially crashed, I'd be too far out, and then it would crash. Right? I think I could outswim
before
the wave
it starts
crash.
to break.
Yeah,
if you're there just in a
go,
small.
and then it crashes behind me like surfing.
That's where all the gators and stuff are, though.
Yeah.
You know, I'm often
There's a lot to talk about
disappointed
here.
by reality. And let's talk about tsunamis here, because when I was a kid, I thought tsunami. Like you remember the deep impact wave that killed the old man and his daughter. You know, like if that's in my mind, what a tsunami was like.
That's that blonde girl. She's standing on the beach with her dad.
Yeah,
right?
a 300
Oh my
foot
God,
wave.
that's me and Maisie.
like in a gigantic wave coming like super fast, but really it's just water.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We've seen tsunami. Like it gradually comes. Like
it just comes up and you drown slowly.
Like incessantly, just
it just raises, keeps on
so there's
raising.
no land left, and then you're like, well,
there's
I'm
shots of that in Fort Myers, but it happens so fast.
It does
looks
happen
like a little
fast,
bit of
but
a
it's
wall.
not the wall with the goddamn break on
I
top.
don't
You
know.
know.
What about? I think if you could pull up when that Japan. I don't know why I keep telling you to pull shit up on your computer.
Japanese tsunami
You're allowed.
the water just never stops rising, and then it just devastates everything.
I thought
Because
there was a wave.
There's so much. There may be. Depends
I
on
don't know.
what beach it is, but I'm saying deep impact wave.
Get back to the science.
No, I'm saying I'm disappointed that it's not deep impact wave. It's just.
So you would rather have big wave rather than just rising
well,
tide.
I get it.
You know, in my mind, in the movies.
I'm tending to disagree with you too. There is a wave that initially hits, and then it kind of just rises into the city.
Yeah, but
there's a wave.
But he wants the wave that like is encompassing
like a
buildings.
tsunami, yeah.
It's like eating an entire like.
It's like a grad.
Yeah.
I want to see if we can find it, Sam. I'm pretty sure there was a wave at the Japan one. The kids swimming at Lake Eola. There's a shot from like someone's high-rise apartment or like
I've seen
a
that one.
parking garage or something. You can see the two swimming out. I got to tell you, it looked super romantic and cool. Like I don't like.
It
I
did
don't
look like an adventure, right?
Right?
It
Like,
had
that's-
like. Do you remember the soup books? or any of the these books that as you were a kid that you would read about like two ragtag friends going on an adventure.
Yeah.
It's like very Tom Sawyer. It's very like
it was very that.
Yeah,
like
it's very like, hey man, and then they're
as
out.
a 15-year-old, you
I'm
know,
with you.
like with your buddy, you guys swam out there.
Huckleberry Finn.
Category 5 hurricane here to Florida. We got to swim
It's
in
very
up
you.
to the fountain.
It's really what it is. It's you and the Grizz are the two kids.
When we were a teen. Yeah,
The problem is
that's you guys.
Yeah. There are massive intake valves underneath the fountain that just suck up water for it to spit up.
Could you get sucked into one of those?
You definitely can, which is another
Why
reason.
don't they fucking tell us that? No one has told me that if I were... I'm being serious. No one has said, hey, Dan, you know, if you go swimming in there, I know you're not because you're a 46-year-old man, but if you and your and your daughter want to have an adventure,
well,
if
that's
you
why
go
there's no
in
swimming. If you die, you took the risk. Like
Yeah,
if the kids died,
we told you not to swim there.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you
and
could
I
get
think the only
sucked
reason
up.
they didn't get sucked up is just because the water was so much higher. Like they could actually, like it was level with the fountain. They just swam right up onto the fountain. Generally, it's raised above the water.
Right.
Yeah.
So they didn't. I think they just had that extra few feet to maybe keep them out of that suction path, but that could have definitely
This sounds
evolved
like a
into
lot
something
like
really
cruise
bad.
ships. You know, you're always told if you fall off a cruise ship that you swim away from it because the tail end of the cruise ship will suck you under it and you're dead.
It could.
When we were kids, we used to jump off the South Beach Pier, and then when cruise ships would come in, the water would suck. There would be so much current behind it that if you jumped off while a cruise ship came in, you would be pulled away from the pier towards the rocks.
You did that, didn't you?
Yeah. But it was you never got close to
it.
you were not close enough to get sucked under the propeller, but it would pull so much water that it's crazy. Like,
but is
it's
it
such a
enough
gigantic
to
thing.
like suck you under?
If you were next to it, yes, I think it would. Yeah, I think you would literally be sucked under.
There
Oh my
were
God, you're talking me out of something? What the fuck is happening today?
We've had a couple of the kids that were there reach out to us because they're trying to get us to share their other videos of them just doing shitty things around town.
Hey, we're
Pretending
really
like-
pieces of shit. Share these.
Make us famous for being assholes.
I mean, show how shitty we are on your TikTok.
But if you think about it, like swimming out to Lake Eola's fountain, I mean, who are they bothering really? Like it was,
I'm with you.
like
I'm with
Well,
you.
now
no,
you had to
Well,
get
when shit happens
they
and
had-
they have to get rescued.
yeah,
and
then
that's what happened.
And
then
you're
I-
wasting resources.
No, but I'm saying don't
Yeah.
rescue them because they decided to.
Yeah,
That's
swim
what
in
a
the
lot
Eola.
of people are saying. Like, they just leave it.
Right.
But it was
Yeah.
snowballing.
But they're also
and there were
kids.
tons of other people that were starting to try to do it too. And there
We
were
wanna be like these
paddle
kids, too.
boarders and kayakers. Like Lake
stand
Eola,
with the
everybody
kids.
was out on Lake Eola.
Yeah.
It's just urban exploring in this new
Yeah.
world. You
people
know?
like anarchy, though.
They do really do,
Oh, yeah.
especially in Florida.
Especially in Florida.
It's like they all of a sudden there's no rules and there's
Yeah.
chaos and it's like, well, let's go out there and
Yeah.
fucking
They want to be
swim.
the next Florida
I've been
man.
asking to go to that fountain for as long as I've been working at Bungalower, and I keep getting turned down by the city.
Oh, you
know?
can tour the inside of it.
Well, you used to, but they don't do that anymore.
Well, we know a bar owner that actually asked and
Yeah.
was granted the ability to go and
for a proposal.
and propose to
Who was
his-
it?
It was used to work our contact at Wall Street Cantina.
Oh,
Paul
Paul.
from Wall
Paul.
Street. Yeah, I don't want to blow up his spot. but-
Adiola wine.
Yes.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah, good dude, but he, so it can't be that hard.
John toured it. I'm not allowed to tour it. They keep telling me no.
Guys are gay.
I did a
I
radio.
I'm gonna redecorate inside or something.
You might suck off the fountain. It's crazy.
I'm gonna now.
We will only grant you a tour to a fountain that looks like a dick, not like a booby.
This one's a boob. You don't want this
No,
one.
this is boob.
Only straight males can go to the boob.
Cherokee, Lake Cherokee, Lake Davis. That's all
Tom's
one
Indian.
lake, and it's all totally.
Tom, you're Native American.
You got some Sioux. You got some Sioux in you.
No, he does. Yeah, he wants to sue everybody.
I've had some Sioux in me.
We did a bit one time with Tuttle, Evil Dr. Nurkock, where he was took a boat and was going to paddle out to, and the cops
They
got
are
pissed.
fucking mad at us.
Oh, the bike cops came and they're like, "Don't you put this fucking boat?" And I'm telling the cops, I'm like,
Lake Eola?
Yeah, this is 10 years ago.
And they don't fuck around. There's bike cops. They're just like, don't be a fucking idiot.
And
We're
then-
trying to put those tiki boats in there. It's like a tiki bar boat. They have them in Tampa. I'm trying to do that.
Oh, yeah.
I want to do that over at Lake Eola for a special.
All
event.
right.
Yeah.
We'll help you with that.
Okay.
The thing is, Lake Eola is only like 8 feet deep. The whole thing, like
Yeah,
it's
you
a
can walk it.
shallow.
No,
goddamn-
you could have. walked.
No. It's
No.
80 feet deep over by the fountain.
It is 80.
Yeah, 80. Yeah.
I thought that thing was shallow the whole time.
I always thought it was like a pond.
No.
Yeah.
It's super deep. It's a sinkhole.
Do you
man,
remember?
we know nothing about Orlando history.
I love that the Canadian knows more than us.
It's my job.
It's only
80 feet? Hold on.
It's the way. I mean,
Hold on.
I thought we did look this up before.
They are a smarter
at
race of people.
at its deepest.
Canadians are a smarter race of people.
That shit is filled
Can
with
I
mud.
say that? I don't think
It's racist.
Are you guys a race?
It's racist.
There's no, because if it was 80 feet, there would be some.
Its deepest point is 80 feet.
No.
Really?
Oh, wow.
But is it muck 80
my
feet?
dick.
Most of it is around 11 feet, but
Okay.
the deepest part is.
Brendan, would you just suck a stick now? Because you
my
got the
dick.
fucking thing wrong about Lake Eola.
That's what happens when you're wrong,
Is it?
bitch.
It's only fair.
Is it a true 80 feet or is it
Why do you
muck?
want to fight him
Let's
against
go
this?
test it.
just
Let's
saying.
go test it.
What do you mean? Is it like 80 toddler feet?
No, what I'm just saying is like
What are you talking about?
Hobbit feet?
some of these
What kind of
sinkholes.
feet are we talking about?
It's like you go down 15 feet and there's muck, but they're
Oh.
like it's like light sediment for another 80 feet.
That's a good question.
You know what I'm saying? So like I'm saying, can you scuba dive 80 feet down there? And
Dude, I told you we should scuba dive Lake Eola.
you think there would be people that have done it? And
I'm sure there are the guys that put in those intakes that'll suck down the kids and
they
kill them.
used to
What do they have the?
the Greek Orthodox Church used to do an event where they throw in a cross every year, and then the young boys in the congregation
that's great.
all had to jump in to find the
Can
cross.
we bring this back with
What
me and
the
you?
hell?
Tom and Dan
Yeah.
present
And then they
young
lost
boy
one.
cross bobbing.
Yeah.
A boy or a cross?
Well, maybe both, but they lost a cross, and then they started tying a cord to it,
Yeah.
and then they'd all jump in
Bungee
and just
cross.
follow the cord.
Let's
Do
do
you
a
think there's a bunch of crosses down
Oh, I
there?
bet.
Like,
let's
Yeah,
do a
maybe.
cross toss.
can you magnet fish some crosses?
Are they metal?
That would be
No.
cool. Like
Yeah, I think so, like gold or something.
Oh, they're metal
Gotta
crosses? I
be a lot
thought you
of-
meant wooden crosses.
No, they're like metal.
got to be a lot of guns in there, right?
Yeah.
Speaking
Knives,
of magnet fishing,
guns.
Any
Yeah.
bones? Human remains?
Babies.
Probably.
But I.
Babies. A lot of abortions, probably.
Do you remember when they did that wakeboard stunt out there? Like we were on the radio at that time. Like someone like a wakeboarder jumped over the fountain.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And that's when I thought like they were talking about how shallow it is, but I guess I didn't know.
It's shallow towards like where the flags are on the Thornton Park side. That's
Yeah, yeah.
shallower. Yeah.
But the other side's the 80 feet.
yeah.
Okay.
Over near the fountain. I feel because they had to put the pillars in underneath the fountain to hold it up. I think that was a big thing.
And then we replaced the lights on it.
Yeah, because it got struck by lightning.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good to go now, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's covered in water now.
Yeah, and
Does
you can get little ornaments made from the green plastic that's on the fountain. You can get special little keepsakes made.
Oh,
'Cause
that's
they have
cool.
Extra sheeting left over from when they redid it.
Now, will it? Are
we
they
have some garbage left.
buy our garbage and put it on your tree? It's Tom and Dan do it.
I want to make a crown with
They
it.
did it with carpet.
It's kind of like the
Don't
the
you
old,
want- we should do a Miss Eola crown. We could make it from the leftovers.
Oh, that's not a bad
I thought
idea.
that'd be fun.
like the old Daytona International Speedway. Like I got a chunk of that.
I do too, yeah.
It's like
I gave mine all to my relatives. They loved me for like 10 years because of that. Now they hate
I
me
gave it to
again,
my
but-
father-in-law. So
Yeah.
I was like, "There's a chunk of the."
Yeah, it was like giving Southern people like a fucking chunk of uranium. Like all of my relatives that are Southern, they're all in Virginia.
Yeah.
They're all NASCAR people. I gave them like I stole everybody on the Monsters. They didn't want their chunk. So you and I, we divvied them up. Like you got 4 chunks, I got like 5 chunks because I just senior member.
It was the equivalent of giving a redneck a piece of Spider-Man or Superman's old planet.
Yeah.
it's like
Krypton.
what?
It's Krypton. Yeah, 100%. Because I gave
Which
this
is
to-
there's no way to prove that it's actually a chunk from the actual speedway. Like
No.
I was given it to like by a third party, so it couldn't
No.
just be a chunk.
My
of
dad
nothing.
said it was bullshit, and I don't want to say that too. Like,
But
my who was the guy? Robin Brigg.
Yeah.
Robin Brigg was the commissioner or whatever.
He passed away,
He
too.
did pass away of the Speedway when they did the reboot or whatever.
Repave of the entire, yeah.
and then they gave us these chunks. My dad was like, "How do you know that's a goddamn?" And I was like, "Dad, look, I got." He's like, "I'll put it in my office, but I'm not sure."
Oh my
Like,
god.
he wasn't 100% on board. Like I think my dad thought because he was.
It was like a chunk of the Berlin Wall and
Yeah,
things like that. It's
come
like
on.
where you have it. I'm like, I need to see spray paint to believe it.
How can all the Hard Rocks have a chunk of the Berlin Wall? That's
Yeah.
what I want to know.
yeah. So anything else with the storm, Brendan, that you observed? Because we're all just watching social media and watching the news, and there's, we talked about it earlier on ACT, but a tremendous amount of downtime they have to fill with reporters. They cut to a reporter, and he's standing in Ybor City,
Yeah.
and they're having to make a story out of nothing, which I give them,
I think they need to change how they're doing it. You know, like
yeah, I agree.
There's some like, and there's also like the subjectivity thing. Like you're not supposed to interfere. There was one. I can't remember who it was, but there was this guy. Maybe I can't remember where he was. Anyway, he was in the middle of his broadcast, and there were two little ladies carrying babies behind him, walking through the floodwaters seeking shelter, and he's just talking away. And I'm just like, dude, how about if you're that one guy that goes and helps them? You know, what if that's the hook of you guys have people on the street? What if you're actually helping
just talk
people?
about them walking across the water.
Because nobody's doing
that's
that.
What makes you an actual caring and loving human being. No, seriously, that makes me like you so much more.
Well,
that
it makes me scared that every one of you just looked at me like, oh, man, why would you do that?
Oh, what? We didn't think of that?
No, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. You're from Canada.
No, I'm mocking the fact that people are just assholes. I'm like, and look at these people struggling to get across the water. It's like, what the fuck?
Well, he's from Canada. Like, we don't think of that stuff. I mean, fuck those ladies and their babies. I don't care about that.
There was literally a reporter that was commentating and watched two other people get out of their car to help a woman that was crawling on her fucking arms and knees trying to get into her car.
Oh my god!
Like,
come
she
on,
probably
man.
shouldn't be driving.
they have helicopters.
She was old as hell.
They have
you press
helicopters.
the
They have
accelerator.
access to shelters.
You're about to drive to a fruit stand.
Right? They have the network. What if that network
just-
becomes a way to help people get out of there versus just reporting on it? And I think there's a role for like active journalism versus just like non-participatory. And I wish I was in a position where I could do some of that myself. It's just really me reporting and then with backup from our salespeople. So it's just something I think about.
Well, when does it like? It's interesting because I do feel like we're in a turning point in media where, we have all the news out there reporting, right? But what they're reporting, there's not really a story. Like when you're standing there reporting about what's going on in Ybor City or whatever else is, like it's like okay, I assume that there's winds and rain, and then it's like I don't need to see the stop sign wobbling. Like I can do the math of what over 100 plus mile an hour winds will do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I think that's the difference. I like the stop sign.
The stop sign wobbling and then being like, look how bad it is. It's like I could see that on 1,000 TikTok videos from people that are in their houses. And then, so it's kind of like it's not, we don't necessarily need it anymore because the
video laser stop
crowdsourcing.
signs. No wobbling with a laser stop sign or a hollow stop sign, hologram stop sign. Like no wobble.
But
no
why do
wobbling.
we need to be there too? Why can't you crowdsource those? Like what we were doing when we were just sharing people's videos and things in our Insta stories, that was huge for us. It was huge for we got maybe 4,000 new followers on Instagram through that process just because we were the only ones that were sharing images from people who were there, what was happening to them where they were.
Yeah.
News agencies could do that.
I did that too. I was sharing every
it's
picture.
hard to sell advertising on that. That's what the thing is. It's all advertising.
Put your own advertising in between the stories, or like there are ways.
But then you're profiting off of other people, and then I'm sure that
I don't know. I think there's a way to do it tastefully. So I hear you, but I think there's a tasteful way to do it.
Yeah.
Our traffic went up on our site.
If the people are sharing them or submitting them themselves, or you're not just ripping it off their Instagram.
It's like volunteer at that point. Yeah.
If you're submitting the photo, then
that's where it snowballed. Like because we were going on like Snap Map, trying to see what people were. Have you seen that before?
No.
That's for tug jobs, right?
It's for Snapchat users. It's this interactive giant map. It's third party. I don't really think it's owned by Snapchat, but it shows through this map like a heat map of where people are using Snapchat the most, and you can click on where they're getting used, and you can just see other people's Snapchats geographically.
That's cool.
We were doing like Sabrina Amber. I was doing that for people down in Tampa when it was hitting the ground. She was resharing people's Snapchat things that she found on that map on Twitter.
Oh, that's cool.
Because now, like, everybody's media. Everybody has a phone, and everybody can film live.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I feel like the stereotypical reporter going out there and standing and then filming for the news, filling time.
Still needed.
Is it?
But I think it could be retooled. I don't want to see them just stand there. I want to see them like maybe they're with the Red Cross or like they're embedded with the first responders.
Yeah.
talking about that work.
You just
that's
don't want
done
the visualization shot
of stationary.
Yeah,
like that's not,
they do that for everything though. Because that's when you don't have anything. Like even like when there's an issue at a school, they'll have the guy go to the school and set up in front of the school, and I'm like, get out of here. That school doesn't need your heat. The school doesn't need your, like as a dad, they've done that a couple times with schools. And I'm like, get the hell out of here. Nobody needs you there. You're monkeying up people and parents trying to pick up their kids. Like I'm with you. Find a different way to do this because I think you know what I would like?
It's a tough age. I'm not a news producer.
What if
so
they took a spot? What if they just gave you kind of like what Mike does on his natural page? Like I know a lot of people look at Mike from Mike's weather page. You look at spaghettimodels.com and you're like, wow, that's too much. But it is all just pertinent information listed. What if the screen was just where the storm is and just it was also a constant infographic of what I needed to know as a human in the area.
That's why we do that.
That's not their business model, though.
I know.
Like, it's a business. People
It's
forget.
not about being helpful. It's about you watching, and that's the difference.
But people respond to that, and like Orlando Weekly, they would write a new story for every new piece of information that came in, and it's too much. Nobody's going to read all that.
Right.
They're not going to click on every single, because they're all about clicks, right? So they want you to be clicking on as many stories as possible. But during a storm, it's too much for people to look at. That's why we always do one page that we'll just continue to add to through the storm, so you don't have to keep looking. It's not about clicks for us. We need to make it as easy as possible for you to get that information.
Well, Brendan, you are not operating like a giant greedy corporation. Not that some of this media
We're still
are
making
greedy.
money because our advertisers
You're
are
all right.
so
But you're making the
stuff.
most amount of money. I feel like I need more clicks because then I could sell my advertiser with the
we
100,000
got-
more clicks. I could go to goddamn Jersey Mike's and be like, look how many clips, Mike.
It's the busiest time of the
Danny
year for us.
DeVito says it's a sub above. I heard it.
Because
I'm
Our
becoming
clicks,
him.
regardless, our clicks are going to go up just because
I
because
know.
everybody's coming to us anyway. So I'm okay with that. I don't need it to be. I don't need it to be more, and I also don't need it to be based on making someone's life harder to get the information they need.
it's the business of media, though.
Well,
and
then
I
your
think
integrity is flushed, so it wouldn't even matter. Why would people even be going there, right?
To what? To
Well,
which-
if you're making people's life harder, if you're not truly like...
yeah, which is a dramatic
It would
way to
go
say
against
that
your
just because
brand.
they have more stories. It's not making their life that much more difficult. But we should be like making it as easy as possible.
Sure.
And
if you're
by the
gonna
way,
be a news resource.
I don't
Yeah,
blame
I
the
agree.
reporters and the people because I truly believe all the reporters and everybody involved in the fact that they go and do such a long broadcast and stuff. Like they care about the safety and the people,
Right.
and I truly believe that
They do.
Like,
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just, but they're the business behind it, like it's revolved around. Views
I
and
never
clicks,
look at the people, I always look
and
at the business.
That's how they make money. So
Yeah.
the thing is, that is going to ultimately shape their content, and that's really how their whole business. That's how they get paid, and that's how the higher ups and the owners they need the clicks and the hits and the
I think they could get clicks in a different way, though. Like when you want to see, I'd want to like if they're there on the grounds when it's coming in. Why aren't they at the shelters? Like, why aren't they? I don't know.
because that's not as interesting for the viewers. It's really the viewers' fault because we
Well, it's a
want to see the
selfish
stop
view,
sign.
Right? It's
We're
a
like,
selfish view. I want to see what's going to affect me. So show me it coming in.
guess.
We wanna
Don't
see
show
Jim
me the guy that's
Cantori.
getting help
Yeah,
because I
and-
don't give a fuck about the
and
guy
prime
getting help.
time
We're like-
news viewers are different from the people who are going to come to bungalow.com to like read.
yeah,
Correct.
Content.
So
So
like, listen,
you got to play to your own.
You're
audience,
also
I guess.
like looking at this with a really kind heart, man. You're not looking at
Who's
it
the
like
reporter that's-
we're asking you for answers that you're not capable of giving because you're not a corporation.
It's almost a cliche in itself because the reporter like stands out in the street and the wind's
Yeah.
coming and
Yeah.
then a stick comes and hits his feet. He's like, oh,
here it is.
And then it's
Yeah.
And we all shared this.
it's like it's like, do you? Nobody needs to see this. Like, why are
Yeah.
you standing out there? In fact, why isn't anybody giving him shit for putting himself in danger?
Right.
Yeah.
Like
That's why I think
like,
infographic would
They're
be
telling
fine.
they're telling you not to go outside because it's dangerous, but they're standing outside. It's
He's
like, what
no
the
different,
fuck?
really, than the guy, the kid swimming
Swimming in
to
Lake
the thing,
Eola, yeah.
because
Like-
you're putting yourself at risk for no reason whatsoever. Like,
Well, it would make sense to me, like as a producer, we're using my producer mind, because that's where I came
Even
from.
though-
Even though, like, I guess you and I are hosting this now, but I'll never stop thinking like a real news producer. Like for me, I don't know if this would work perfectly, and I'm sure other people could like cook it and make it better, but an infographic of where the storm is, how it's coming in, what areas it's affecting currently, a rolling scroll, a list of resources, a list of numbers that you could call, a list of websites that you could call.
Radar.
And you have this
just a radar image of where the storm is.
Leave it stagnant, and then you also have the responsibility of letting everybody know, hey, we took our staff, we sent them home. This is all automated. We're going to use technology and computers. Like, they know where the fucking storm's at, and then just watch this screen, and we're going to have this up until our power goes up.
And if we had more, it'd be interesting just to do like an auto scrub. Like if you had like an app or something that's scrubbing the headlines.
It could pull videos,
specifically
too. It could pull tweets. It could pull anything.
Yeah.
The thing
and then you just have one person vetting them, to make sure that the guy on the counter, like, stroking his cock, when the, like that one doesn't fall into the videos that are getting released.
Yeah.
But all of our media is privatized.
A lot of masturbation on this.
That we probably have that if there was some sort of like government news source that was just in it for the safety of people.
Don't get started on government news.
No, I know. No, but that's the thing.
I'm Canadian, CBC.
Not in Florida.
But it's like
you can shove that up your ass.
Everything lives because of the marketing revenue. That's how these companies, that's the blood of these companies.
Yeah.
So when that is the blood of your company, then it's going to be influenced, it's going to influence your content because your content has to be excited because everybody's doing the same thing. So guess what? You got to be in the storm. You got to let the bush hit you because that's what people want to see. I blame the viewer. It's the viewer's fault.
I let the bush hit me this morning.
Because they're
some Drunky the Bear nonsense coming back. You're unpacking some trauma.
They're doing what analytics has told them for years what people want to see.
Yeah. That's
and
true.
people want to see the bush and
and I'm with you.
They wins and they want to see the filler garbage.
But I'm with you. I don't fault them for that.
All of our
see
dumbass faults. Like it's like look at them out there.
We consumed it. Yeah.
We caused this thing that we're now making fun of.
I knew.
But
I knew
ridiculous.
that swimming in Lake Eola thing would do well.
Yeah,
It got picked up by USA Today.
I mean,
wow.
Look at us.
Dude.
We're not just having a normal conversation. We're fucking around because no one wants to hear a serious this is what happened today. Read the shit.
Chocolate salty balls.
Go county by county and talk about damage. No one wants to hear that, so we're joking around, fucking around.
But we're still presenting some facts, right? So there has to
Are
be.
we? What facts?
Yeah.
The tsunami?
Do we find out that answer soon?
Anyway, all right, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll do some dump them out.
Indeed.
And I got to get back to chopping
calling
up some
Seth?
trees.
Yeah, and I got to and then I got to go to the airport and pick up my goddamn puppies coming in from Missouri. Dansby's on his way. I can't wait.
Into
big
a hurricane.
Day, big day for the Dennis family. No, there's real man, the real farmers from Missouri are we never took it off the schedule. We was always planning on bringing him.
So Andrea was right.
Andrea's always right. That's what I learned is Andrea's always right. The name of the artist is Amarosa. The name of the song is Stray. I prefer to call this is like The Weekend Light. So enjoy this because everything is like themed kind of like this. Like The Weeknd, he carries that heavy influence, right? So you're going to hear some similarities. We'll be right back. Welcome.
Things about LA, dude.
Is that Russian?
No, it's German. That is the Slackers' new song, New York, Berlin. It's basically, you'll have to dig into it, but it's basically the tale of friendship through two perspectives of like their band and meeting German people and vice versa back to New York. So the Slackers, legendary reggae or ska band. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
So now everybody is just clean. They know.
They know. Yeah. I don't need to say that, but I do it because I'm more of the like corny broadcaster, half of us, and he's more the cool dude.
Oh yeah. Cool dudes don't introduce themselves.
Well, he's a cooler dude than
Why? I just figured if you got this far,
we might need to say like, oh, that's Brendan O'Connor with us.
Yeah,
from Bungalow.
From Bungalow, but we're bad hosts, like especially me. Like as I get older, I get worse at this. which is weird. I was talking to my wife about that. I was like, I thought I would get better at that. I'm not getting better, though. I'm getting
You're
worse
great.
at this.
Stop.
Thank
That's
you.
that voice again. Oh, my God.
Yeah, bad self-talk.
Sorry, Tom.
It is a weird thing how nice it is outside right now.
Disgustingly beautiful,
Like,
dude.
it was hot as shit, swamp.
It looks like a fake day.
Fucking nature butt fucked us with a hurricane, and then the most beautiful morning there's been in a
Got
while.
rewarded with 2 days of good weather.
What happens when you get butt
Did you guys listen? You and I, Brenda, we were just talking about this. Have you listened? There's wildlife out there. Everybody's out.
Yeah.
So where did they go?
They just hide.
Well, yeah, everybody
Cling on for dear life.
We have a big.
hides and then comes out, but
Yeah,
it's
man,
just like
everybody's out.
with
I just pictured like a Care Bear Klingon when he said Klingon for dear life.
That's a good idea.
He's just angry.
A
Kafla!
nice cosplay mixture.
it just for the people with no power, it is nice for these next couple days that the weather's so nice.
Don't say that though.
Thanks,
I
Gene.
feel like,
it
are
will
we
get
jinxing
worse.
it? We're just stop. Just don't
Well,
talk about
but
it.
it happens every year. Every time there's a hurricane, nice weather after, but then it goes back.
Not
to
like that. I feel like
swamp.
this is the best after hurricane weather.
Yeah,
But
because
it would
it's
make
late.
sense.
We're in
Biggest
October,
hurricane, right? Or
Thanks, Ian.
one of the biggest you're gonna get. Is that how it works?
Just
is
sucking that Arctic air down, right? Isn't that what it's
Well,
doing?
if this
I don't know.
if this happened in August, it would maybe a little nicer
yeah.
and then be real bad. But this at end of September, it's the nicer weather.
Could we have
lasts
done
longer.
better?
Sweater weather.
Could we have done better? 3
like that.
weeks from now, it rolls in. Does it go even cooler?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be colder.
Yeah.
Then it's straight up
We blew
winter wonderland.
it. Yeah.
We still got time.
So
we could get us.
We could.
We could snow.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll
Snow in Florida?
About the next hurricane.
I think it's snowing in Florida.
Knock
is
on
gone,
wood.
right?
Don't get mad at me because I
Yeah,
said
it's
that.
not-
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
or maybe I remember one time in
If it
Deltona.
does, it's like like the
Got
the
sleep.
dirty. What is that? Like a radioactive.
Slush.
Yeah, some sort of fallout.
Let's do some dump them out.
You love this intro, don't you?
I love it. Look at their boobs.
We got too many topics on the list today.
It's
their Another motherfucking show.
Woo!
So come on, baby. Let's dump them out and play. I want to see your topics.
I need a
wanna
record.
also see your bottom mix.
What is happening? That
Dump
is-
them out. Brought to you by justcallmo.com. Injured on the go. Just call Mo.
Dump them out, Mo.
He could help you out.
Momo.
I'm not. No, you're losing control. What did you do? Did you go do coke in the bathroom? What is wrong with you? Don't tell Mo to dump him out, and never call him Momo.
Why?
Mike, I feel like that's a slur. You
Hashtag
can't say
no
that.
Momo.
Dump him out, Momo. Now, you can't yell that out of
No
a car.
homo,
You
Momo.
yell that out of a car. It's a hate crime.
Mo.
No homo, Momo. He did coke in our bathroom.
You know,
I just wanted to feel alive for half an hour.
I did feel bad for the people I saw on my social media that were like, anybody
only
know where I
fan.
could find a generator at like Wednesday at 8:30?
A lot of them.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Did
I
you
was
feel
like,
bad
man.
for them?
Did you think more than normal? I did. I felt
well,
more than normal.
I felt
right?
bad because I'm like them. I never prepare for anything, so I felt like I was like, oh man, they really want a generator.
Did you offer?
And I got one.
Did you think to offer?
No,
yours?
I didn't think like. No, well, I need my. I mean, my house is running off my now.
But were you at the time of reading that? Is my question.
Well,
You may have been with power and said, like, well, I don't think I'll need it.
as soon as I get power back, anybody that needs a generator, I'll loan them mine. But
Let's do a generator giveaway next hurricane.
I'm surprised.
Okay,
there
let's give
isn't-
away the Generac system, though. That badass system with the gas and the thing. The whole deal.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
let's give 'em
surprised
gas.
that just like people set up Christmas tree stands on the corners and stuff like that. If a hurricane is
Chinese
inevitably
generators and
well,
just
it's
start
like
pumping them out of an 18-wheeler.
you come down with 18-wheeler
you
generators.
and I and Craig from Pyro Spot could do that if we decided to do that, but I don't think is there really a market for it?
I feel like if you had an 18-wheeler full of generators and then you use social media like, hey, come buy them in this parking lot, like people, because everybody was looking for them, right? And Home Depot and everything sold out instantly as soon as a hurricane's about to hit. Right?
Are there some people that would rather just not? Okay, serious question. You have a generator. I've had generators. Have you ever had one?
No, but I have
Never had one.
Never. Okay. Are there certain people that because of they're not mechanically inclined or don't care or don't want to have to put the stabilizer? Are there certain people that are just like, yo, I don't need that. That's a luxury. It's great, but I don't need the generator.
Yeah,
because I think I've always been, even though I have had one, I think that even now, I think even in where I'm at, if my power went out, I'd just be like,
well, I have a solar panel that I can charge all of my things with, and then I have a battery.
But
that
you
holds
can't
charge
do
for
fridge.
3 days.
Yeah, well, the pain in the
fridge
ass
would be done.
and then air conditioning.
No, but I got some real good Yetis.
That's the pain in the
I've
ass.
seen your Yetis. They are excellent.
Hey, dump out them Yetis.
Yeah. Hey, you shouldn't be saying that. It's like Beetlejuice saying 3 times.
People don't want to chuck everything in their fridge. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people like have hundreds of dollars worth of food.
Oh,
you know,
dude.
it's like
I just pulled out all my
Hunters.
coolers and like made ice, bags of ice and stuff.
But hunters and people that like,
Anything
have to
frozen.
budget or plan, you buy, like my mom and dad used to buy full cows with their neighbor. And then a cow. Or a cow. Cow. Why did I extend that too far? Cow.
I'm from another country.
Yeah. But no, they, I'm with you. Yeah, I understand what you mean.
And then it's the AC. Right now we're good, but it's just when it gets hot. It's at night. It's like if you have like at least a window unit emergency, something like that. You cool one room, and then it becomes less miserable. And that's really, it's about comfort. You don't need a generator. It's like it's more comfortable to have one.
I'd love to have those Fords that have the generator in them. Like that truck.
The Lightning.
Is that
what it's called? It's the Ford, the all electric Ford that you can power your house on. You can Like I wish my Tesla could do that. Fuck you, Elon. What are you doing? I need that so I can. I did my car, and I sent you a screenshot of this. I think I put it on our.
The ones you can power your house, they have, it's like hybrid, right? So you need a gas engine, or it's just
it's
all electric.
The big F-150 Lightning, I think that's what it's called. I might be fucking that up. I haven't been drinking, and I've had 2 of these guava, whatever they are.
I've driven it. It's great.
Yeah, they're really cool looking, and I think all these things are just neat. It's like magic to me. But yeah, that one you can plug into your garage and run certain things, just like my mom's Generac system that she had.
It's what they did in the Texas freeze. A bunch of people were using them to power their homes.
But I will say that when I got in my car,
that can't last too long, right? Because your whole
couple days, you just turn it on.
I honestly don't know. I don't know about the technology, but my car, when I got in it coming home from here as we were leaving from the storm, when I pulled in my garage and it knew I was home, the screen came up and I sent a picture in our group and it said, due to the storm, we are urging you to charge your car to 100%.
Smart.
So you have it to either cool down to blah, blah, blah. And I was like, this is fucking great. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, wubba lubba.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty neat.
What do we got here, Sam?
It's International Podcast Day. I don't know if there's a lot to talk about.
I just wanted to put that down so I could wish all of you a very, very merry International Podcast Day. From my pod family to your ears, Tom and I, Sam, Brendan, all of T&D Media, everyone, we wish you a very merry International Podcast Day.
Good luck with your podcast.
Yeah,
How many podcasts?
You know what? Good luck with your podcast, sir.
Oh,
hey, good luck. Hey, Sam, good luck with your podcast.
Thanks. I'm recording tonight.
Hey, Tom, good luck.
Actually, good luck. I know what's been going on the past couple weeks. Good luck.
You were smiling right up until that point.
I don't need luck.
He was so grumpy.
I've got Jesus.
On the group text, he was so grumpy. Every text he would put out would talk about how weak his power grid is.
Yeah. Although it did last long. I thought it was going to go right where my papaya tree fell over at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday.
Tree?
Yeah.
Dude, that thing was massive. I felt really bad for you, and it went before it really got bad.
You know
what I thought it
sunny
did?
outside.
You know what I had a joke.
Fell over. I was like, fuck you, papaya.
No, I had a joke that your papaya tree is me because that papaya tree is like, a hurricane's coming, I'm killing myself.
Bye-bye.
And it blew his
You can prop it back up. Did it break in the middle or did it all just fall over?
It ripped half the roots out on one side, but I put it back up and put cinder blocks underneath. And then this morning I woke up and it fell down the other way.
The double fall.
What worse, is it fell on my other tree.
Oh my
And I was like, God damn it.
Oh my God!
Should have left it down.
So I was swatting the papayas off because the damn is top heavy. It's too many. And then so now I got it propped up with cinder blocks, but the ground is mush. It's all mud.
You got to do the teepee. You get some boards.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah.
It's
You gotta have both your boys go out and hold it.
Up.
I gotta go back and there's a huge tree in my neighbor's yard that I've been cutting with my chainsaw and like just taking it out for her or whatever. And
how long have you been doing that?
Well, I started yesterday morning. Well, first I was like cleaning up my house, and then I started doing that.
That's nice of you to do that, man.
Yeah.
Well, she's not going to go out there with a chainsaw. No, she
top heavy, like the
that
papaya
reach around
tree. Hey,
that's what he likes about her.
Yeah, he likes those top heavy papaya trees.
What I like is a papaya, babe.
How fast do I have to repair my fence? That's like.
Oh no, you gotta. No,
I mean, you live in Castleberry.
Oh
that's
yeah,
fine.
dude. You go Castleberry. You got like 3 months.
Is there some
You're
like?
good.
Do I have to put
Around here? You got to have it ready by Tuesday. You got an inspection Tuesday.
I'm just wondering if there's some sort of protocol or expectation of me because there's a giant panel missing and it's just there walking to my neighbor's
You could leave, or
backyard.
you could put a
You're
door.
probably fine until you get a complaint.
Well, she's got a dog that she has to walk.
Oh,
So do I
that
have?
dog's gonna come and he's gonna break through your fence.
Bite
No,
your
it's a
kid.
tiny
Bite
Yorkie.
Tommy.
It's got like a piece of plywood until you fix it.
Well, that's should I
look
should
nice.
I put the plywood?
and then have somebody paint a like airbrush mural on it? That'll look great.
Aaliyah.
Yeah,
of a lady holding papayas.
You need an airbrush Aaliyah mural.
Yeah.
Hot like fire. Hot like fire.
Yeah.
That was her, right?
Oh,
Hot like fire.
We didn't put this on the list, but should we talk about Coolio passing away?
Oh yeah, and he passed
R.I.P.
away. You know what my wife said? He was at a friend's house and he went to use the restroom and he died. And I go, oh my God, Coolio died pooping at a friend's house.
that
And my
true?
wife goes, that didn't happen. I go,
I think it
listen,
did.
you told me.
Heart attack.
My wife tells me,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she goes, he was at a friend's house.
Don't
he went
even-
to use the restroom. Why are they giving me the details?
Yes, don't-
Coolio was pooping at a
Come on.
friend's house and died. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Break it, bungalower.
By the
Break
way,
it.
if
You just
breaking
breaking news.
By the way,
Breaking news.
Daniel, if you're ever over my house pooping and you die in the toilet, I will.
I've only pooped at your house one time. I can't. None of the doors locked. So I can't poop there. And there's too many pictures of your naked family. I can't poop in front of your naked family.
But I can jack
It's
off.
weird. Yeah, it's like
I will pull your dead body
all
out.
over that bathroom.
please, like Disney property.
And then-
don't let me die on Disney property. Drag me out. Just put me in the storm drain.
But
I'm little.
I'll put your dead body next to my rusty workout equipment, and
Okay,
I'll
that's
say
fine.
that you died working out, or
Okay,
say anything.
Oh, I love that.
Anything
I love
other
that.
than
like I fell over. Or put the bar on my throat and just let it crush my esophagus.
Do that.
And then
Because
just you'll have to
He
fake the
finally
autopsy.
beat his bench press goal.
You'll have to fake the autopsy because they'll want to know.
Why tell everybody
Crushed his windpipe.
you died pooping? like it's kind of
They
embarrassing.
did
like,
tell everybody. They could have just
Don't
said,
even just say
you
he
don't need to say
fell
he died.
down.
You just know. You just here. I'm gonna do it. Coolio died. Hey guys,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
here? Coolio died. Did you?
How long
how
was
did
he
he die?
in the
Had a heart-
bathroom before you get concerned and start knocking on the door?
Well, that's what happened.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you're like, oh my
What
god.
if they could have saved him,
Well,
but they thought he was pooping?
it goes-
and
half
they,
an hour.
Well, it
he was
goes in
working on a
stages.
crossword puzzle.
So
or
Coolio gets
something.
up. You're like, Coolio has to use the bathroom. Coolio's gone for a minute. You're like, Coolio has to pee. Coolio has gone 2 minutes. You're like, Coolio is an older man. His prostate's hard to pee. Coolio's gone like 15 minutes. You're like, Coolio has to shit.
Yeah.
Then you're like, 20 minutes. You're like, Coolio has diarrhea. 35 minutes. You're like, God damn, he must have gone to Kobe. Then an hour. You're like, oh man, I think
An
Coolio.
hour? No, no.
I think Coolio died shitting in my bathroom. And you're like, oh man.
And they say of heart problems that that's a symptom,
Yeah.
right?
Training.
Is
training.
You got Elvis, right? A lot of people.
but it's
A lot
my
of similarities between Coolio and Elvis.
there's you feel like your stomach's upset, right? So you feel like you might have to poo.
is that?
So you go.
I don't
That's
know.
a thing. That's a thing.
Okay.
So like guys will go to the
That's
restroom.
scary.
So it's not like
Wait,
like
every
it's
time
kinda
you
like
did-
So
chicken
there's
and the
probably a
egg.
lot of people that die on the toilet, right?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
There's someone dying on the toilet listening to us right now.
Well, remember
There he goes.
you used to have the soundbite of that the correctional officer screaming, "You could have an aneurysm on the toilet."
You never know. I lost it.
I mean, he got that because it's true. People die on the toilet
do,
a lot. All I'm saying is just
That's why you need a squatty potty.
why even mention it? It's like it's
yeah,
kind
you
of
didn't need to put that out there.
just
you
don't.
just
Why
said
is
cardiac
it,
arrest.
You know, Coolio wouldn't have want that. That's what I'm
No.
saying. I don't
He
think
wouldn't
anybody
want
like
that.
don't because then it becomes a goddamn
Yeah.
joke on a morning show. Just say, like we're doing. We can't stop.
Wow.
I'd just be happy.
Smells
to
like a gangster's paradise in here.
Come on. Just say don't mention.
That's what happened.
It's their
Is
fault.
that what you
It's
want?
their fault, not our fault. We're
slide,
just
slippity slide.
We're-
Fell off the toilet and Coolio died.
we're just doing what we do. It's the people's fault that reported
Yeah,
it.
they reported that he.
It's their fault,
They
not ours.
reported because that's the first thing I
We
said.
can't
to
help
Andrea.
ourselves.
Is my wife in the chat room? She'll back
No,
this
yeah,
up.
I read it. Yeah,
I said it so fast. I even put it in the group chat. I said Coolio died at pooping at his friend's house, and Andrea's like, "What do you mean?" I go, "You just told me he went to the bathroom at a friend's house and he died." I'm like, "That's their way of reporting he was pooping at a friend's
Let's
house."
hope he was just splashing some water on his face or something. You know what I mean?
I would like to think
Something
that. I don't see
dignified.
him as a face splasher. Coolio. He doesn't strike me as a. But you know what? I will say that all jokes aside, that a lot of people, famous people, came out and said that's the nicest human we've ever met.
Aw,
really?
yeah.
Seriously, like tons of people are like, oh,
Yeah, Fritz played drums for him.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
John and I
He
were
never
just
had
talking
any
about this on our
controversy.
show. When you die, what do you want to be remembered for?
Being nice.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it?
No more than that.
John said he doesn't want to be remembered. He doesn't give a shit. Which I
that
think
sounds
is
like
dumb.
John. Yeah.
I'm just gonna
He
remember
wants to be a skating legend. We know.
your buddy calls. That's it.
Wow.
That's all.
That's the
best you know.
funniest
Right.
and most insulting thing you could ever say to me. I love you so much. You know what? I'll make him uncomfortable. That is so funny.
Listen,
that I will tell you I love you.
Listen, when I die, it's gonna be Drunky the Bear City. Wait,
Wait, it's gonna be hard to open that.
I'm just
You
saying
want a
it.
whole city? My God!
I'm just saying
man.
it's just gonna be picture. My kids are gonna have to.
Is that the
see
one you want
pictures
on the
of me
easel?
wearing
Is
the
that the
stupid-
one you want on the easel next to the coffin? Is the Drunky the Bear?
I'm just saying, just lean into it.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
You
You
know
still
I
have
hate
it?
it.
You
It'll be the
you
last.
think Tiffany will pogo stick you down the aisle?
I'm just saying, you'll know I hate it. Just lean into it. What do I care?
Do you still have the bear costume?
Oh yeah. Just
He didn't talk
just
about
in
it.
case.
Can we
Yeah,
bury
talk
you
about
in it?
I'm not gonna be buried. Actually,
Oh,
I
you're
don't.
gonna be
Yeah, buried in it, married in it, dude.
cremated?
That's the end of the bit. Married in it, buried in it. The Drunky the Bear story. And I put you in the ground in it. The Tuttle is under concrete or something.
I should, put it like a plexiglass coffin and
Yes, like linen. That was linen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, mummify
Oh my
you.
God! But we didn't.
Shrink
But we
wrapped.
didn't do it right, so he starts molding and getting green and shit.
Put me in front of the old Makos and then have people
come on.
like the Queen.
Come
have
on
a-
the swing.
They have a line of people down Church Street that
What
go
do you
up
want
there
him to
and
do?
go, "Pissy, look
Come
at my
down
coffin."
and do a shot and then piss on him.
And then there's a post-apocalypse, and one of your sons comes, when everything's ending, and he breaks the seal, and he puts on the costume, and he becomes a warlord, wearing the Drunky the Bear
I like
outfit.
that, dude. You got a great imagination like
Thanks,
us. That's why you fit in here. That's why you fit in here.
Hurricane.
Let's
Using it
talk
for good.
hurricane snacks.
Oh, my
what
God.
did everybody get?
Okay, good question. That's a great question. My wife did the tube thing that the caller called in. You remember the
Okay,
caller that
tube
called in
snacks,
last
like
week? And
Pringles.
yeah, we did a lot of Pringles,
Potato sticks.
a lot of potato sticks, a lot of things like that. And then,
Is that a diet? Why do you say tube? What do you mean?
like a tube, like it's in
Like
like,
it's
a Pringle
gotta be in a
tube.
tube?
like a Pringle tube.
Yeah, or
Like
cheese balls.
White trash snacks come in a cardboard tube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
planters,
Think
cheese
about
balls.
it. They all do. Stacks. That's the upgrade. The
Why
Lay's.
is that?
I don't know. We like fast snacks.
It
Fast
keeps it
living.
from breaking too, I guess.
Yeah.
They say that. You know
Most
what we
of them.
did?
It's a cost thing.
We
We
did.
What's the cheapest container that we could put this garbage in?
We did like you do hurricane eating, where like you have food and then you do stuff that you normally wouldn't do. Like
Yeah, I
here,
bought shit I'd never buy.
I don't take a lunch here. I eat like a protein bar or some dumb shit. But there, I had the time to cook lunch, so I made everybody real
Like a full-
turkey. Well, no, not
full
crazy, but
spread?
I did a fried the bacon. I carved the turkey. I mayonnaise the bread, toasted everything. I did turkey clubs. I thought that was kind of extravagant.
some arsenic
Like,
in it just
when's the
in
last
case?
time you sat down and made
Last
yourself
turkey
a
sandwich.
turkey club, right?
Yeah.
So I thought it was smart. That's what we do during the hurricane if we have power. Is like make something kind of extravagant.
I like that.
Treat yourself. You know,
I was
the
like,
end.
well, if power goes out, you got to have, some food. I was like, can I boil a pot of water on this fucking Blackstone? We made, I got steakums. So I got steakums,
Hell
mac
yeah.
and cheese, and we made steak and mac and cheese quesadillas.
Whoa, that's good.
And it was delicious.
That's good.
There is a psychology behind
Last meal.
Last
meal.
There's like a hurricane coming. Like fuck it. And you start rationalizing like I
Get
need
fat.
the calories.
Hurricane's coming. Get fat.
Yeah, I'm gonna be bailing water out for 12 hours.
Yeah. I
Something
need-
comforting. Something
But
carby.
all you're gonna do is overeat and fart and pump your wife all fat. You're like, I'm trying to
Did
get
you guys
laid.
get any hurricane pumping in?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I always hurricane pump.
What?
My
There-
daughter was scared. She wanted to sleep with us, but I was like, "No, you must stay in your room and be brave." So Daddy
Ride
can,
it out.
So Daddy can
While
get
Mommy
a
rides
hero's blowjob. Seriously, I didn't comfort her at all. I'm like, "You got to go to your room. Yeah, sorry, you got to. So this is how you get strong, and this is how I get blown. So it's got to happen."
The
So I'm guessing no for you, Tom. There's no hurricane pumping.
Well, yes.
With those bloody fingers?
That's why they're bloody.
Man,
Just say that.
my God, Brendan fits in here so well. He's so gross like us.
And I think it's
just
because
observant.
That's a compliment.
observing.
That's a compliment.
there's like an energy, especially while you're waiting
Yeah,
for the
bloody
storm.
finger energy.
You're like,
bro.
well, we might as well fuck.
Well, after
You are the Pete Davidson of water bailing.
after you
does
get
that
everything
mean?
ready,
Big dick energy.
Is it like, yeah, it's BDE.
You're out there in your
big
tiny
security
dude. You're
storm.
saving your home.
Big
No,
storm
it's
energy.
before
big
anything
hero.
happens.
Oh, before
Because
anything
once you get into panic, then
Oh, is it daytime?
it's like
Daytime fucking?
It's one of those things.
Dude, I love
where,
daytime
like,
fucking.
What do you do? You have a lot of pent up.
Would you guys sneak it
anxiety
in?
and energy.
Daytime
Yeah.
fucking, you can see all the razor bumps.
Come on.
Woo!
Come on.
Poor Tom.
What?
What else we got?
Mini
What's
donuts.
Warm? Oh,
Mini donuts.
I didn't know
Speaking
if
of
that was part
daytime
of
fucking.
snacking.
Hey, do you know like Tom is obsessed with, for a while he was obsessed with companies and how that like, hey, if we're the bread company, if we eliminate all of our little twisty wires, we can save $4 million. Like
Sure.
you love those kind of things, right?
yeah.
I
One
found
olive
one.
out of the jar saves the company $100,000 a year.
That's the story. I found one of these, and me and Maisie are pissed as fuck because we're trash people. And one of our favorite weekend breakfasts are the Hostess powdered mini donuts.
Oh, okay.
White
That's a
powdered Hostess mini donuts. And
Yeah.
on the side, everyone knows if you're a good American or Canadian that Hostess mini donuts powdered. On the sides there are tiny little diaper tabs, little bendy diaper tabs. They're little
yeah.
metal tabs, and then when you roll the bag back down when you're done eating, and then you fold the tabs in to
Yeah.
keep your donuts sort of stale still. It doesn't really work, but it's there. They eliminated. They're gone. No more. All gone.
Oh, because the metal was expensive. over
Maisie,
there?
I'm laying in bed. Maisie, why? Why? Like, oh, what's wrong? Oh my God, she's Dad. There's no tab on the mini donut. She's literally fatouched. There's no tab on the mini donuts. There's no way to
You
keep them
created
fresh.
that human.
We had to get She said, I can't believe it. This is a traffic that we had to go.
Write a
and
letter.
we had to go and get a clothespin to close our mini donuts. But I knew that you were obsessed with these. We just, sure enough, I went back to Publix not yesterday, but it would have been right before the storm. Checked the mini donuts. Yep, they're all gone. They
Why
have
don't you just
eliminated
put them in
the
a jar or something?
Jar.
fucking Canadian. Fucking Canadian wants to put my mini donuts in a fucking jar.
Yeah, and then you got a jar of donuts. And you can look at them.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
By the way,
I don't like
I'm
Forget
not,
lightning bugs. I want a jar full of donuts.
I'm not good enough to put any food in a jar and it be good after any amount of time. What
do you mean?
Because that's I
Everybody's
feel like
saying
that's
they-
Martha Stewart. Like that's a fancy. You put
They
your
get
preserves
dry,
in a
too
jar.
dry.
They
Too
get
dry in the
dry?
jar.
Yeah, and then
Just
also
put it in Tupperware.
It's
No,
the
you need
same
the
thing.
bag. It's like, like they always tell you with bread products,
lazy.
you need some sort of paper. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's an exchange of moisture or you got a
Are you
barometer.
hitting on me again?
Yeah, I am. There's like a barometer thing going on there where like they tell you like, oh, you have some leftover croissant, put them in a paper bag, right?
What? They're
No,
not
no,
like
is that-
fruit you're
Yeah.
trying to ripen.
I think
Is that
that's
true?
a thing.
The guest says it's true, and he's an air conditioning
yeah,
guy.
he said
knows
humidity.
knows.
I trust
Yeah,
him.
he also
He
has
knows
a
about
juggalo
air.
tattoo though, I think.
No, that's
I think there's a hatchet man in here. I'm not sure.
What's worm pea?
It's worm pea. I have no idea.
Yeah,
Dan told me to write that
Yeah,
down.
worm pea. Maisie comes in. She comes running up. But this is just where we go to a collection of strange stories between me and my daughter. She comes running up the stairs and she's like, "I gotta take a shower." And she like just woke it up, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I worm peed on me. I gotta take a shower." And I'm like, I don't think worms pee." And she goes, "Yep, 100%." Like how little kids are like they're dead set. And she's my kid, so she's like, "Yeah, 100%. It's worm pee. I'm covered." Got to take a shower. And I'm
Cover.
like,
Was she?
she was out there playing with the earthworm. There are
Okay.
all kinds of earthworms, and
Oh
she was
man,
trying
we
to.
had so many frogs the next day after the hurricane, like all night. It was
Just
just
doing it.
Just
May
oh
is
my
such a
God,
good
kept
kid.
Because
me
they
all
picked
night.
up that energy that you
Yeah,
guys
they did.
had.
They were frogging.
But
Yeah,
May is so
frogging it
sweet.
up.
She was like,
Geckos.
I saved them all. I'm putting them all back in the earth. You know, I was like, oh, this is
Dead.
No, I'm
You know
probably
she
a
was
little,
chopping all those fuckers up in half, lighting them on fire.
Smushing them.
Did you see the sharks swimming on the streets and stuff?
Not
too?
true.
I saw gators.
No, it's not true.
Not true.
Oh, okay.
Not true.
Got them.
So
fake.
that's fake.
So
I
do
did see
worms
gators,
pee?
and I did see like fish in the
There
streets
is a
in
gator. Did you
Titusville.
saw that gator
I did
picture
see the gator.
from Winter Springs? That's a guy that I know, so he took that picture.
Yeah.
I don't think worms pee.
So
They don't.
I don't think
no,
they
it's
do.
it's a combo. It's a another cloaca.
A kalawaka? That's a chicken, right?
Kalawaka,
The
waka,
kalawaka.
waka.
Okay, that's a bird thing.
Yeah,
And we
'cause
said
it's all
that
like
before.
one thing
I
together.
don't like when the doo-doo and pee-pee mix together.
Yeah, I like keep it separate. I mean, I
Yeah.
hate to be the apartheid of doo-doo and pee-pee, but like I'm a separatist when it comes to pee and poo.
Yeah.
well, those
Is
are
that
all things,
racist? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
those are all
anymore.
things that have gizzards. They're full of
Do I
rocks.
have a gizzard?
No.
A little bit.
I have a
I
little
mean, you don't 100% not.
I have a little gizzard.
Your,
I have a little
your
bit of
mom's a
gizzard.
gizzard.
So, Sam, are you doing the podcast this weekend?
I am recording this evening
All
with both Eric Pabone as well as Chris Crespo.
Hey.
Yeah.
Sam did tell me when I rescued her today.
Yeah,
that,
you're a hero, dude. I appreciate you doing that.
Thank you. I wrote that down. I am a hero. But
It says at the top of his paper,
Oh,
it
it
says,
does?
I am a hero. Quotes.
I want you to write it in lipstick on your mirror.
she was telling me a story as I was driving here. She was like, my back fence blew down a panel.
Yeah.
And so I just saw into my neighbors, now it's
Their backyard.
they're
Yeah,
right
never
there in the
seen it.
backyard.
Oh, you peeked in there.
And then you told me how you were outside.
I was out there cleaning up,
Cleaning
and
up.
I'm used to my entire backyard being basically covered. You know what I mean? And I was out there in like a see-through tank top, and I went to dump out some of the water from because I was vacuuming up with our steam cleaner all the water that had stayed in our patio.
yeah, I've seen these.
And
Oh, yeah, I
I'm
saw
going
you.
to
I've seen
bend
these
over
videos.
to like dump out the water. My titties are falling out. And I was like, oh, I forgot that the neighbors can completely see me now.
Oh, your
So I'm pretty
titties
sure
fell out.
I'm pretty sure my neighbors saw my titties.
They fell in the armholes.
Yeah.
The guy was like, oh, God.
Yeah.
5 months from now, their fence will still be broken.
Right,
yeah,
right.
exactly. Put a plexiglass on it.
And then while she was telling me this, I'm on 408, and she's like, "You're driving past the tank."
Yeah, you missed the
And I'm like,
Missed the exit.
I was thinking about being your neighbor. I had
distracted by your titty
I had
story.
suddenly materialized into being your neighbor. I do have an imagination. I was there. I saw every titty.
Also, I have this thing
Every titty.
when Sam is
Both of them.
when Sam is telling me stories about this, I
How
try.
often am I telling you stories about my titties?
Well, every once in a while, it.
Every once in a while, you
every
and
once
I,
in a
have,
while.
I don't get any
Titty
titty stories.
Tuesday with
I have,
Sam.
to, I have to fight not
at
gravitating
them?
to look
I
at
know.
this. You're talking about him, so I
Yeah,
have to be
It
cognizant
would
to
be
look
rude
straight
not
up.
to look at them because
No,
they're
no, I
being
just
talked
look,
about. It's
I
like,
look straight up at there.
It's like when somebody, if like at the Lincoln Center, if they're giving away an award and somebody talks about the president, you look at the president, right?
Well,
That's what I
Yeah.
fucking do.
Yeah, but you're saying it so much.
That was a
I
good
just-
analogy,
I can't
by the way.
stop looking.
That was a like you know what? If there's ever a question of whether I'll follow you to hell, think about that analogy and how fucking good that was and how much bullshit that was.
So, Brendan, is there a show tonight?
How you gonna top that?
Yeah, do you
Did your
With
titties
John.
fall out, Brendan?
How's
Did anyone
Bustacker
see you
doing?
nude?
My titties are hanging up, drying on the wall back home.
Have you talked to Bus? What is he doing?
I
see him on
he's
Facebook.
Working. He's working. He's been at the crisis center for the sheriff's office this whole time. So he went home real quick
my
just
God.
to check on his chickens because they left their chickens in the coop during the storm.
Is that bad?
Well, I guess
They're all good.
I guess they're fine.
They're
Everything's
fine.
fine. Yeah,
Oh
just
my
a
God,
little,
this
a
guy's
little wet.
horrible.
Birds
Sure,
are
they're
tough
scared.
as hell.
Yeah, man, they
You don't
are.
feel bad about birds? I'm like,
Yeah.
they are tough as shit. Like,
They leave the swans out.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the swans stay out.
Yeah, they were fine?
They didn't fly around there like a
They didn't blow away?
No. They're
We're not
good.
counting them or anything.
How do
I
they
don't know.
anchor themselves if you're a bird? What do they do?
They have little anchors that come out of their cloacas.
Let the wind, let the wind
Damn,
blow
that would
them
be
around.
amazing if they did.
But is there a show tonight? Or?
Yeah, we
okay.
recorded at Wally's. We did it earlier in the week just because we weren't sure if we'd see each other.
Wally's tried to stay open as late as they could,
And
right?
I think they did.
Dude, Sportstown was open, I think, both days.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
about Sportstown.
Yeah.
Burton's was open with the classic Thornton Park
Crazy.
right next door, which that's the new food concept. And Yeah, there were people who just said, we've been through this before. We're going to stay open until there's a curfew.
Anything that got blown away or anything anybody needs our help right now locally that we,
Just those people in Ivanhoe Village.
Other than our buddies at Hollabox,
And if you have some extra sandbags and you're near Ivanhoe Village, maybe go stop by some of those businesses and see if they need them, because people are still driving through on Orange Avenue and still flooding those businesses last I heard. So, if you're around.
It's such a traversed area, and Tom and I were talking about that this morning. I don't think you're going to be. You can't. I don't even think you can shut it down.
You can. You could go around that section. You just have to pop through over on Alden, just over like by Ivanhoe Park Brewing. You can just go up and around.
By the train.
But they haven't put up any detour signs. Last I heard. Maybe that's changed since I've been here.
Yeah, it started as we started this broadcast. I know the cleanup started because at least they were scheduled for like an 11 a.m. A lot of people were starting to roll out.
We did if it's like a post-hurricane little wrap-up of things that the city's working on, like how many traffic lights and stuff that are out.
Cool.
And in there's a list of all of the streets that are closed because of flooding. So if you are nervous about driving somewhere, you can double check that on bungalow.com and you can make sure that it's not on your way.
I was thinking about, I was loading, taking all these trees and the debris and just making a pile in my, the front of my yard, on the other side of the.
Supposed to bundle your stuff if possible, if you put it out.
Oh, I didn't know. I just throw it. I figured they'd come by with a truck.
No, as long as it's in a pile. Put it in a pile.
There
just
he
don't
goes, the guy that doesn't tip his garbage.
I know, yeah.
He doesn't bundle shit.
Not all the trucks have those claws, and actually right now, since they're so swamped, if they see something that's too tough, they'll probably just leave it.
Yeah, they'll pass it.
I'm not
give you
bundling nothing. I'm just saying.
Throw it in your garbage.
I'm just gonna throw it there. Then once they don't take it, I'm like fuck, and then I'll take it myself. Anyway, my point being, I remember when I was a kid after Andrew, like all the piles of trees and shit, they were in people's front yards. Like we'd make forts inside of those as a kid. Like we'd climb inside, and all I kept thinking was like, my sons would never do that. They have no interest in
walking.
They can do
that on Roblox.
And
you can
playing,
do like a fake
Our Canadian version is hollowing out snowbanks.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's the same.
They are playing Roblox on their goddamn iPads.
Why wouldn't you? It's better.
Yeah, it is better
and
than
safer
than playing in garbage. But all we had was garbage.
With rats.
I mean, this goes back to the beginning of the show, and you guys asking me why I would walk around in the water, the doo-doo water, and everything. Like that is what I did.
It's fine.
As a child, I loved walking.
I boogie boarded in ditches. Hell yeah.
I literally would. After the hurricane, my dad's like, "It's all help me clean up," and I'm out there shirtless and no shoes.
Yeah,
if you go to our Instagram, you can see that when we share some of these things, even like in our stories, it's crazy. Some of the footage of what's happening around town. But a lot of good old boy, Florida, generational Floridians are commenting now, and they're like, just let these kids have fun. Like they're just, when you were 15, you do the same thing. To that, I would also respond, they're also kids from Lake Highland Prep and, privilege.
Yeah, exactly. It's different. Yeah.
I was like, you know what this needs? A good passive-aggressive, we are not the same meme.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get to it.
I did Baldwin Park. The dock was underwater. That was the extent, really, of damage in Baldwin Park.
That's about it.
And so
I think the pizza place, like their awning flew off.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
If I
it's
get
still
one,
down there.
Everyone from Baldwin Park, we probably got like 20 people sending us these images of the dock underwater and how crazy it is. We're just like everywhere else in Orlando. Look how crazy it was.
Suffering.
And then one of them, though, was all of
selfie.
these white kids, family kids. Everybody was white. They're all swimming in Lake Baldwin and just having the
Oh,
time of their life.
yuck.
And we shared it with a little caption, like, why they always got to be white. And so some of the comments
I bet. You guys were feeling like you wanted to have a little fun.
Why they got to be white every time.
And every time I see We Are Not the Same memes, because they do a lot with White Claw, too. Where it's like, I drank Mad Dog 2020, you drink White Claw. And then I'm like, yeah, but you would have drank White Claw if you hadn't.
Oh, my God, you would have.
Because Mad Dog 2020 is disgusting.
So
and
yuck.
it tastes like some medicine, some cough medicine is horrible. Like, we only did that because there was nothing else. It doesn't doesn't mean that we had the choice and there's somehow
there was no
softer.
choice.
There was no choice. We played in garbage because there was no video games that were better.
Oh my
That's
God,
all I'm
that's a
saying.
good band.
If you were allowed to have a
in-
tablet back then, you would have been playing a tablet.
Yeah, of course.
I don't want to be painting
It's not like
rocks.
I was tougher than my sons. It was just I had nothing else to do. If my sons had nothing else to do, they'd probably play in garbage.
It's just the new way.
Anyway, all right. Let's get out of here. Everybody's got to go and do some cleaning.
I got to go to the airport and pick up a overpriced puppy.
Woo! And so good luck with the cleanup.
Yeah, be safe, everybody.
If all the people's houses got flooded and everything, sorry that.
Well, let us know.
With it.
Put
If
it
you
on the
can-
BDM page
yeah.
so we can help out if there's anything we can do to
and
help.
if you're a business owner that was hurt, you could go, there's a business disaster survey thing that the city's putting out in the county,
write this
and
down,
it
Tom.
could help you get funding sooner.
Oh, we need funding.
Yeah, write this down because our
fix
doormat blew away.
Oh yeah, I
I'm
ran
dead
out.
serious. We don't have a door unless somebody stole it.
Also, we ran out of all our money from the dozens of PPP loans.
Yeah.
we applied for.
Yeah, write that down. Yeah.
So now is this more
Also,
free
we're
money?
out of toilet paper right now.
All I
Oh,
heard is
no.
free money.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, guys, be safe. Don't do anything stupid. Good luck with the cleanup,
Yes.
and we'll see you on Monday.
Bye.